Welcome to Baker High Wildcats football. And now, Baker High Wildcats football.
An absolutely beautiful night for football here as we welcome you into Baker County High School Football 2020 from Memorial Stadium tonight, downtown McClenny, Florida. Mike Cruz, Jackie Baker, statistician Justin Thomas bringing you all the action of Baker County Wildcat Football 2020. And we've got a good one tonight. Final home game, final regular season game of the regular season. And Wildcats hosting the Suwannee Bulldogs here tonight. Suwannee Bulldogs. They will come into the game 6-2. The Wildcats hosting with a 7-1 record. Neither one of these teams needs this game for any other purpose other than bragging rights. And Jackie, as I bring Jackie in and talk about this game just a little bit, the Bulldogs want to beat the Wildcats. They're 6-2 on the year. They came in fired up here tonight. The Wildcats are fired up at senior night here at Memorial Stadium. The Bulldogs have rolled off a few wins in a row, and they've shut out opponents with their defense in the last three games. Jackie, Suwannee's coming over here with a purpose.
Yeah, well, I tell you, you're right. They're coming with a purpose, Mike, but they're coming with some confidence.
Mm-hmm.
3 shutouts in a row, like you alluded to. One against the Ponte Vedra team that typically in years past been a pretty good team. So they come in here thinking they can stop the world. But I'm going to tell you, they've not played a team as stout as this Baker County Wildcat team tonight.
A lot of folks know each other from these two programs now, as we've had that kindred connection over the last 10 years or so. Jamie Rogers, former head coach here, coached at Suwannee for 4 years before coming back over to Baker County, and we had a chance to meet a lot of those folks over there, and they've got some really good people in Live Oak, but their purpose and mission tonight is just to come and get a win here against the Wildcats. And what do the Wildcats need to do, Jackie, tonight? We talked with Coach Kevin Mays this past Monday night for our dependable heating and air conditioning coaches show, and we talked about this Suwannee team, and they're really on offense a one-man show. Quarterback, he's a senior, Jaquez Moore. Number 2, he's going to do everything. He scored 15 touchdowns this year. He's a guy that can throw it, he can run, and that's the guy. If we have to key on one guy defensively, he's the guy, and he kind of, as he goes, the team goes. And then on the other side, defense, like we said early on in the year, they had to find their footing, but they've shut out 3 opponents in a row. So can this up-tempo Wildcat offense get going early and often against the Suwannee defense?
I think that's the matchup to watch. They spoke this week, Suwannee, about how they can rotate defensive linemen the same way we rotate running backs, to keep fresh legs into the game, Mike. But I'm going to tell you, that fast-paced offense that Baker County runs, if they can't stop it early and often, it's going to be a long night. I don't care how many guys you can rotate on the defensive front. This offensive line comes to play week in and week out, and that's going to be the matchup of the night.
Wildcats pretty healthy coming into the ball game tonight. Look for a steady dose of Scooby Graham, Jamarian Baker, Cam Smith in the backfield, and then Carson Crawford. As the year has gone on, Jackie, we've thrown the ball 10 to 15 times a game, and at good spots. We've mixed in some passes. We've even, in the last game, we threw a pass to a tight end, which is something that we haven't done in a while. So Wildcat offense really mixing it up. The key, though, that we saw in the one loss that the Wildcats had this year, with the up-tempo style of offense, if you're playing a team that plays good defense and you get into 3-and-out situations, you can get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and you're right. The one blemish on the schedule this year, that seemed to be the Achilles heel. Bowles was able to stop us, forced a couple 3-and-outs, and when you're going 3-and-outs, as much as we like to score under a minute, when you go 3-and-out under a minute, that's not good for that Baker County defense. So the key, put drives together, score early and often, and then that defense, you called it earlier, if they can shut down number 2, they can stop this Suwannee attack.
We're going to pause for about 3 minutes as we have the national anthem here from Memorial Stadium. We'll be back. You're listening to Wildcat Football. We'll be back with the start of tonight's game and more Wildcat Football right here on WFBB.
Baker High Wildcats football is being brought to you by American Recycling Center. Recycling helps the environment. American Recycling offers compensation for cans, radiators, copper, brass, and aluminum. American Recycling Center located at 5325 Woodlawn Road. That's 1/2 mile west of 121 near I-10. Open weekdays from 9 till 5, Saturdays from 9 to 1. Telephone 631-0152. That's 631-0152. American Recycling Center. Happy to support Baker High football.
Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332. Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation is honored to be a sponsor of Wildcat football. James Curry is a proud Baker County Wildcat, class of 1987. He and his wife Shannon own Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation, located at 380 North Louder Street in McClenny. They can be reached 24 hours a day by calling 259-2806. To learn more, please visit www.blackburncurryfh.com. Proving not all funeral homes are the same, one family at a time. Go Wildcats.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkins Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkins Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkins Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinsChevy.com.
Hi, I'm Gary Sinise. Our veterans put everything on the line to protect our freedom. We may never be able to repay them for their sacrifice, but we can show them just how much we appreciate all they've done. You can help by simply sharing your time, lending a warm smile, a supportive hand, or a sympathetic ear to someone who needs it. Everyone can do something to make veterans know just how much we appreciate their service. Please visit www.volunteer.va.gov. What will you do?
For over 50 years, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving the community of McClenny. They provide quality air conditioning, HVAC, and electrical work to the residents of McClenny and the surrounding areas. The phone number for Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning is 259-6546. Oscar and Susie Gray would like to say, go Wildcats. Again, that's Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning, 259-6546.
And we welcome you back here to Memorial Stadium. Senior night in McClenny, Florida. The Wildcats, a good number of seniors that walked before the game tonight. One of them is the team captain, number 12, Carson Crawford, the Wildcat quarterback. He'll walk to the center of the field and meet number 1, Wesley Jones, a senior from Suwannee. Kyler Hall is the head coach of the Suwannee Bulldogs. You might remember Kyler Hall. Played for Suwannee back in the, I'm going to say 90s, maybe late 90s. Went on to play at FSU on the defensive side of the ball. Kyler came back and took over for Jamie Rogers when Jamie left the program 5 years ago to come back to Baker County. So just kind of like a big circle, Jackie. Everybody knows each other here, but Suwannee comes out in their traditional green pants with the white jerseys and the green helmet. And the Wildcats are going to be in all red tonight, the red pants, the red jerseys, trimmed in the white numerals with the black helmet. And coin toss about to happen right now, and Carson gives it a call, and the Wildcats look like they've won the toss. Let's see if we want the ball. That's what I meant. Wildcats did win the toss, and we're going to defer. So we're going to put Suwannee on the field. Jackie, I've been so used to saying Carson Crawford. They're twins. They look just alike, but number 12 is Cameron Crawford, so I'm sorry about that. Cameron Crawford, our captain tonight.
I've been around them a lot, and I can't tell them the difference. If they're not wearing their uniform or I can see their number, I have a hard time telling the difference.
Well, the thing is, he's got his uniform on, and I just missed it. I just had Carson on the brain, but Cameron Crawford, the captain for tonight. So the Wildcats do win the toss. We'll defer. Wildcats are going to kick it from right to left, so Suwannee will be driving left to right on your radio dial. Be interesting to see here, Jackie. We actually made the decision to defer there. We didn't want the ball to start the game. So we'll see if our defense can come out and put a 3-and-out on Suwannee and get some momentum early on. Interesting strategy.
Yeah, as much as that matchup is, I think everybody kind of knows that that's the matchup. Suwannee defense against this Baker County offense. So Coach Mays was like, then let's see that we got the upper hand on the other side. This Baker County defense against the Suwannee offense. So Wildcats going to get a chance to try to stop number 2 right out the gate.
Suwannee started off the year with Santa Fe, got a win 41-10. Then they played Hamilton County, got a win. Ran into Madison County. Anytime you play Madison County, it's tough. They got a loss in that one. They beat Bradford County, a team that we're very similar with, and then Buchholz they lost to 59-42. But those last 3 I talked about, they shut out Palatka, and then they shut out Ponte Vedra a week ago, 14-0, and there was another one in there, Gainesville-Buchholz. So, Wakulla. Palatka, Wakulla, and Ponte Vedra the last 3 weeks. All 3 weeks shutouts. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about this defense kind of coming together. Wildcats will have to work on offense, but we'll see the Suwannee offense first, and all we've heard all week long is number 2, Jaquez Moore. He's the quarterback. He's a senior. And then that guy, Wesley Jones, that was just the captain. He's a receiver on this team. So those 2 guys, number 1 and number 2, the guys that we're going to be watching here as we get set to get underway.
Those are the guys to watch, but I tell you what I'm going to watch at the start of this game. You're going to notice we don't have Blake Mays, number 23, down there kicking off. So Scooby Graham going to have to come into the ball game and kick for us tonight. So they talked about over at Suwannee, their special teams being an elite unit. So let's see if Scooby Graham.
We talked about it during the Monday night coaches show. Blake Mays, he caught a pass late in the game last week and hurt his shoulder, so he's not going to be able to go tonight. So here we go. Scooby kicks it high and kicks it to the sideline over there, down around the 25, and they're just going to have to jump on it over there. Actually, a great kick by Scooby Graham as they had to make a decision and fall on it, so they'll take the ball 1st and 10 from right at the 25-yard line.
And that's exactly how Blake Mays does it. Coach Mays is calling from the sideline. He's got quadrants out there that he wants them to kick the ball into, and if Scooby Graham did that on purpose, that was a great kick.
It was a great kick, 1st and 10 from the 25.
Wildcat defense going to come out tonight, and we can't say it enough as the Suwannee offense goes, as number 2 goes tonight. So going to watch him all night.
1st down and 10, Jaquez Moore in the shotgun for Suwannee. They're going to hand the ball right side, and the running back is going to try to get the corner. He's going to get there, 25-30, and hit out of bounds over here by DeHaven Clark right on the sideline, but not until he gets about 8 yards on the carry, and that's number 22 for Suwannee, which is Graham.
And, we kind of talked about that in the coach's show a little bit. The outsides, sometimes we're struggling in the outside contain, and at times Suwannee comes right out, a little read option, and they got some speed on that Suwannee offense. So Baker County defense going to have to.
2 receivers to the right. Now one goes in motion, one to the left. A little toss pass to the receiver coming around on the sweep, and he's going to have the edge over there for the 1st down out across the 35-yard line. That was number 24, Fryer, on the carry. Camden Fryer. You reckon he's any kin to Matt and Todd?
Definitely could be.
I'm guessing he probably is. Wayne Fryer. You ever heard the Wayne Fryer commercials on TV? Camden Fryer, if you remember back in the 80s and 90s, Jackie, Matt Fryer was a wide receiver that played for the Florida State Seminoles that came from Live Oak. So I'm guessing there's a family connection. 1st down and 10, quarterback Moore going to take the ball to the right side, and he's going to be hit from behind, but not before he throws the pass downfield. He had a man wide open on the sideline, and they're going to say it's a catch at the Wildcat 31. How did he get so alone, and how did he get a foot in bounds?
We're so focused on Jaquez Moore, and you called it, Michael, like he was going to run, and he rolls all the way out to the right in the last minute. The cornerback gets sucked down in. You can't watch the backfield against a guy like Moore, and leaves the receiver wide open, and so Suwannee, big gain there.
Moore has two receivers to the right, one to the left. Fryer, number 24, in the slot. This time they're going to run it with the quarterback, Moore, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage as the Wildcats' Zane Mobley makes the tackle right there for a 2-yard gain.
And, yeah, that's a good tackle by Zane Mobley, but that's exactly what you got to do. Connor South does a great job. He's taking away the option for Moore. Make Moore keep the ball, cut back inside, and fill the hole.
Second down play coming up. We'll call it 7. Give him 3 on the last carry. Two receivers now split to the left. The ball right in the middle of the field. Second down play, Moore going to take it. He keeps it himself, runs the read play, and Moore's going to get the sideline, and he's going to get down to the 21-yard line, which is going to be close to another first down for the Bulldogs.
And the Wildcats had a shot at him there, and that's what you can't do. You cannot let Moore get outside of you and use that athletic ability to get up the field. That time, the Wildcats, I thought we had a shot at him in the backfield. If you don't take the right angle on a kid like Jaquez Moore, he's going to make you pay, and you saw that on that play.
Well, the containment's all about angle, so the Wildcats are going to have to make some adjustments there because that's twice. You said it, Jackie, that we've had a guy in the backfield, but you end up chasing if you don't take the right angle. So adjustments can be made there. 1st and 10, though, for Suwannee now at the Wildcat 21-yard line. An impressive drive here to start the game. The Wildcats won the toss, deferred to the second half. Moore in the shotgun from the 21-yard line. Takes the snap. He's going to give it straight ahead this time, and he's met in the hole again. Zane Mobley, the first guy there, along with Weston Avera and the other guy you mentioned, Connor South. That's Graham on the carry.
Yeah, I'm going to say inside the tackles isn't going to be a lot of room there. It hasn't been all season, and that time the Wildcats show you you're not just going to come run it down our throats. So the outside working so far for the Suwannee offense, but nothing doing in the middle of that Wildcat defense.
Weston Avera on the field earlier for the senior night ceremony. Second down play, second down and 9. Moore going to throw one here. He fires one out to the left side. He's got Fryer over there, and Fryer makes a man miss, and now he's just picked up. And DeHaven Clark trying to pick him up and body slam him over there, but Fryer's going to get the first down.
And that time, I'm not sure. We've done that a couple times this season. That's something I've been wanting to talk to Coach Kennedy about. They line up in trips over to the left, and we only send 2 guys out there. Now, I'm assuming the outside linebacker or the safety, somebody's supposed to be over there helping in the zone defense. But if they throw it quick like that, I mean, it's 2-on-2. If they get those guys blocked, it's going to be big yardage, and they show you right there.
First and goal for the Bulldogs. They've marched down the field from the 25-yard line. Jaquez Moore has them in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 back in the backfield. That's Graham. Moore takes the snap. He's going to give it straight up the middle, and they've got a carry down inside the 5, and he's still carrying tacklers with him all the way down to the 1-yard line.
And that's something you don't see very often. The Wildcats' initial contact at about the 5-yard line, and Suwannee able to just push the pile to inside the 1.
Well, we wanted to see this Suwannee defense against the Wildcat offense tonight, but right now, looks like this Suwannee offense against the Wildcat defense putting a pretty good drive together here to start things. Second down and goal from the 1, and the quarterback Moore is going to try to sneak it across, and he gets across. He went up the middle and then bounced it outside and was able to get the ball across the goal line from the 1-yard line, so they take a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, we wanted to see it, and you just saw it. A lot of Jaquez Moore there. And the second that you focus, we said that's the man to stop, but you let a 40-yard pass completion go because you're so worried about Jaquez Moore. Mm-hmm. Let your eyes get in the backfield and let people run behind you.
And that's what happens, and that's what having a guy that requires so much attention can do. It leaves guys on the back end open for that kind of play. Beach is on to attempt the extra point, and Garrison Beach is perfect, and he makes it a 7-0 ball game. The Wildcats will come back now and get the kickoff from Suwannee. So let's see if our tempo offense against the Suwannee defense can get it done. 8:57 to go first quarter, just underway from Memorial Stadium. This 6-2 Suwannee Bulldog team. And, Jackie, we talked about this already, but the playoffs for Class 5A begin next week. We'll tell you more about the Wildcat situation in a moment, but Suwannee's one of those teams that's in our region. So this is a team that if we were to win a couple of rounds deep and we get to the 3rd or 4th round, we could see a team like Suwannee again. That's why this game's so important. It's not because the winner of tonight's game clinches a district championship or anything like that, but this is 2 really good 5A playoff teams.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Both teams are going to the playoffs after this game. But you've talked about for the last couple of weeks the confidence and the momentum going into the playoffs. So this is a game you want to win, and you're right. The opportunity or the chance to see them again in the playoffs, you'd have that mental edge if you can get a victory tonight.
Absolutely. Beach is going to get a foot into it right there, and it's going to be to Cam Smith right here at the 6-yard line. Smith's going to return it. He's up to the 15, and he's going to slip down around the 18-yard line. A lot of rain in McClenny today. Jackie, don't know if you had to go to Jacksonville for work, but probably 2 or 3 times. We got a little pounding of rain, and so the field might still have a little bit of residual water on it. Cam kind of slipped down there, but the Wildcats will start from the 19-yard line.
I heard it was raining. I saw a little bit of it. And
I think I told you that.
Yeah, by the time I got to McClenny, though, the clouds had parted and the sunshine was coming through.
Well, it's a beautiful night for football here. Get a little breeze in the air, and it's cool. I wouldn't say it's chilly, but it's nice and cool here in the press box, and it's exactly like you want the weather to be on a football Friday night. Jamarian Baker's going to carry this one, and he's going to run over left tackle, and he's going to get about 2 yards on the play. Not a lot of room on that defensive line, but now the Wildcats will go quickly. 2nd down and 8. Carson Crawford in the shotgun now. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Going to give it to Graham. Graham picks his way outside. There he goes, 25. Graham's got the 30, and Graham out to the 34, lost the football, and Suwannee's got it. Graham lost the football as he crossed the 32-yard line, and one of the Suwannee defenders quickly fell on it. That was number 21 for Suwannee, Jordan. Keldrick Jordan comes up with the fumble, and Suwannee with a 7-0 lead gets a fumble deep in our territory.
Very unusual out of Scooby Graham, but you just talked about the moisture on the field, Mike, and not sure if the ball had gotten a little slick, because Scooby Graham, to my knowledge, I can't remember him losing a fumble this year. And so a big break there for the Suwannee Bulldogs. They're going to have great field position. After Graham had ran for 9 yards, he's going to pick up the 1st down and get this offense moving.
That's a problem our running backs have not had this year, Jackie. We haven't put the ball on the ground. At that time, Scooby fumbles at the 32. Suwannee takes over right there. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to roll to his right. He has nowhere to go with it. He's just going to throw it out of bounds. And the quarterback that time, Moore, he tried to escape with his feet, make a move there, and a flag's down in the middle of the field. We'll have to check that. But that was a good play by the Wildcat defense to contain Kinghorn and Connor South there.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do to him, Mike. You got to make him roll all the way out here, contain him to the sideline, and make him make that throw. Great coverage down the field.
And this is what can happen to a team like this. So Jaquez Moore, he rolls, he buys some time. Well, they get an ineligible man downfield because the linemen, they think he's running. So, or they think the pass has already been made. So they get downfield and they get a penalty. So Wildcats did a nice job that time. Let's see if they can continue that for a few plays. The Wildcats will accept the penalty for the illegal man downfield.
I tell you, Coach Kennedy, he's talked about it. We've argued about it all year long. He swears the RPO is an illegal play because that's what happens. Ineligible man, they don't know if he's running or not, so they start making their way downfield in case he is running. So if you're paying attention, you may get that call a lot tonight.
1st down and 15 now as the Wildcats will take the penalty, back them up 5 yards to the 37. Moore in the shotgun, straight drop this time, pump fake. Now he's going to hit the receiver over on the sideline. The Wildcats have it defended well, and he's tackled after a gain of maybe 2. So it's going to be 2nd down and 13. So taking that 5-yard penalty works well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that time in great coverage. Moore pumps down the field like he was going to go deep and throws it right here in the flats, but now Suwannee's going to go tempo.
2nd down play. Suwannee with the football after the Wildcat turnover. 7-0, the Bulldogs lead over the Wildcats, just underway here. 7:44 to go in the first quarter. Moore taking a lot of time. You thought they were going tempo, but he's talking to the sideline. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Moore calls for the ball. He's going to give the ball straight ahead. No, he zone read. He fakes it and goes to the corner. And Moore is going to be tackled after a gain of maybe 4. Looked like Ellis on the tackle, and it'll be 3rd and about 8.
That's a great play that time by Ronnie Ellis from his safety position. Coach Mays alluded to Monday night. They brought him down a little closer to the ball. So it's going to be very, very important for Ronnie Ellis to keep his eyes on Moore all night tonight.
Wildcats, Coach Kennedy sends in 5 new players on the 3rd down package here, brings out 5 players. So Camilo Rollins, one of them, comes off the field here. So looking at some speed here on third down to contain this quarterback.
Yeah, it's Jamari and Baker and Scooby Graham down to the linebacking core. So you're right. Going to try to contain Moore here on this third down.
Third down play, Jaquez Moore, the man to watch. Number 2, he's in the backfield in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Moore takes the snap. He's going to fire one across the middle. He's got Fryer. And Fryer makes the catch, sure-handed catch right there inside the 25, and he's going to be tackled at the 20. And that was just a quick hitter. He was looking for Fryer right off the line of scrimmage, and he hit him for the first down.
And you want to know the disappointing thing about that play? Coach Canada had it called. Jamari and Baker backed right up into the throwing lane. He missed that. If he missed it by an inch, he missed it by a daggum centimeter, Mike, almost getting his hands on that football.
Third down conversion for the Suwannee Bulldogs, and they keep the drive alive. They're at the Wildcat 20-yard line.
Oh, man, that's a tough break.
Suwannee took the opening drive 75 yards for a touchdown. And then the Wildcats, on our possession, we fumbled the ball, gave it back to them inside the 35, so now they have it 1st and 10 from the 20. Jaquez Moore, the quarterback. And now you're going to get a timeout. Man, Jackie, not the start the Cats wanted tonight.
No, I mean, we always talk about, we've talked in a couple games this season, you couldn't script it any better. Well, I can assure you couldn't script it any worse for this Wildcat team right now. Suwannee, they allow Suwannee to go 75 yards and score a touchdown. And just when it seems like Scooby Graham's going to break a big run and pick up a first down for the Wildcats, he loses the football. Suwannee recovers at the 35. So you're looking at Suwannee football up 7-0 already and knocking on the door inside the red zone.
Knocking on the door. The Wildcat offense that runs that up-tempo style has not had much of a chance here early on. But as the game plays on, Jackie will have plenty of opportunities. The Wildcats need to get a stop here on this drive and kind of reset things. Jackie, a lot to talk about here tonight as we have Suwannee in here on the regular season finale of the year. Next week, Jackie, we were scheduled to host Panama City Arnold here next week in the first-round playoff game. Well, I want to let Wildcat fans know that game will not happen. There were some issues with Panama City Arnold making the trip over next week, so the Wildcats will get a first-round bye in the playoffs, and that game will not happen. So we'll move to the second round 2 weeks from tonight, and next week will be an off night for the Wildcat football team. So we'll talk about that more at halftime and what the implications of that are. But just so Wildcat fans know, there will not be a first-round playoff game here next week. First down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Jaquez Moore takes the snap. He takes a straight drop. He fires one toward the end zone, and it's going to be caught. The receiver is 5 yards deep in the end zone, and he went and made the catch. And he had single coverage out there, and I didn't think it was terrible coverage, Jackie. It's just a nice throw and a great catch on the other end.
That was a great throw from Moore that time. You're right. I thought Jamil Jones was in great coverage and was going to be able to make a play on that football, but Moore puts it in a spot where Jones can't get to it. And just like that, Suwannee's going to be up 13-0.
We haven't had this happen all year long. Even against the Bulls Bulldogs, we took a 7-0 lead. So the Wildcats haven't trailed by 14 in the first quarter like this all season. Let's see how the Wildcats respond. We'll take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Hey, Wildcat fans. This is Anita Cruz with Country Financial Credit Union. This challenging year has caused us to miss out on many of our favorite things, but thankfully it hasn't taken away our Friday night life. It also hasn't changed our credit union's ability to serve your financial needs. Whether you're looking for fee-free checking, mobile banking, or great rates on loans, we're here to help. In fact, we're big enough to meet all your financial needs, yet small enough to deliver personal service to every member. Country Financial Credit Union, hometown banking, hometown people, and proud sponsor of the Baker County Wildcats, insured by NCUA.
Suwannee takes a 14-0 lead over the Wildcats now, and the Wildcats going to get the kickoff inside the 10. Cam Smith's got a return out across the 20. Smith loose, 30, 35. Smith across the 40. He's across midfield. Cam Smith's going to take it all the way. Cam Smith is going to return the kickoff for a touchdown, and the Wildcats, Cam Smith showing off the speed down the sideline. He took that from around the 6-yard line, Jackie. I'm going to call it a 95-yard touchdown return on the kickoff for Cam Smith.
Man, what a run by Cam Smith. I tried to tell those guys over at Suwannee, you may not want to kick it to those two guys, Cam Smith and J. Maud Ruiz. They talked about how well their special teams played. I told them we got guys too, and that time Cam Smith, my goodness, what a return by Cam Smith, 95 yards, going to put Baker County on the scoreboard.
The only guy that had a chance at him was the kicker, and the Wildcats had a couple of blockers with them, and the kicker chose the lesser option. The Wildcats will go for two. We mentioned Blake Mays not suited up for the game tonight. So Carson Crawford going to go for two with this offense. Here we go. Scooby Graham's going to run it off the right side, and he's going to go in for the two-point conversion. So the Wildcats, the great equalizer, the two-point conversion, the Bobby Harrison special, and it's 14-8.
You know, I think it was Coach Harrison that said all you got to do is get it 50% of the time. So
that's why I said that. Bobby Harrison, hey, if you were a Wildcat fan back in the 80s, I don't even know if we even had a kicker.
No, I don't know that we had a kicker till around 2003.
Coach Harrison, listen, one of my dear friends in life, Coach Bobby Harrison and his family. But I tell you what, his philosophy was, he told me, hey, Mike, you know, if you get it half the time, then you're good. And if you get it more than half the time, then you're even better than good, right?
Yeah.
14-8, Cats answer. So you're right, Jackie, we didn't start it the way we wanted to, but that kind of changes things with the Cam Smith kickoff return.
Yeah, I mean, that's something you don't count on. I mean, if you can go into a ball game and you script it the way you think it should go, you don't really put special teams touchdowns in there, and we've got a few of those this year.
Scooby's going to kick one deep here, and it's going to come down inside the 10-yard line. The return man for Suwannee takes it from the 8. He's going to be chased down from behind, and he's going to get out across the 20. And a nice tackle on special teams that time by the Wildcats Glover. Andre Glover tracked him down.
Andre Glover, what a great tackle that time. Came all the way from the far side of the field, ran him down from behind. And so now this Wildcat defense is going to start in much better field position than after the turnover. So Coach Kennedy had them all piled under the tent, looking at the TV, trying to make some adjustments here. So let's see what they talked about.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, Jackie. People have laughed at me all year for talking about energy and intensity. But that Cam Smith kickoff return brought some energy to this team, and you can see them flying with a little bit different energy level right now than they had early on. First down and 10 now. 4 receivers set for Suwannee to the left side. They're just going to fire it out there. He's got Fryer, and Fryer's got some room to run. He's out across the 30 to the 35, and Camden Fryer takes the ball out near midfield on first down. They split 4 receivers to the left side, and they just blocked it, and Fryer takes it 30 yards. But a flag is down, Jackie, a flag down there behind the play.
That may be a huge break for this Wildcat defense, but I'm going to tell you, that's twice now that they put trips, and that time 4 receivers on one side of the ball. You got to get guys out there. Again, if you're covering downfield, I understand that, but they're throwing these quick hitters, so our 2 guys out in coverage are getting blocked, and there's room to run for Fryer.
Holding call against Suwannee, and that's going to bring this play back. And that I tell you, I mentioned this to you in the timeout, Jackie, on the straight passing plays for Suwannee. You don't have time to get any pressure because Moore's getting the ball in his hands and he's getting rid of it. They're just quick timing plays. And right now, you know, you've got to do something to disrupt that.
Yeah, and they're going to go right back to it here, but watch for something different out of this. Maybe a pump fake to the flats there and try to throw the ball deep.
10-yard penalty will take it back inside the 20, so a first down and about 15 now as you go from the spot of the foul on the holding penalty. So first down and 15 for Suwannee. Moore has 4 receivers to the right side and 1 to the left. Flag down is going to be a delay of game, so back them up 5 more.
And that time it looked like it was just going to be a straight run out of that formation from Jacquez Moore. I was thinking maybe they were trying to isolate Jamil Jones at the top of the screen there, one-on-one coverage. Jamil Jones, like he does every week, giving up a few inches to the wide receiver, but you never know it in the way he plays.
Third possession for the Suwannee Bulldogs in the first quarter. They took the opening drive, went 75 yards. Then they got a fumble, and now they get the ball back after the Cats kicked off return. So, listen, we've only had the ball for about 3 offensive plays, Jackie. Oh, and the snap goes through the hands of Moore, and he's going to go back and get it. He's going to be tackled in the end zone, I believe. Now he's going to try to throw it. He throws it back across the middle. It's incomplete. how in the world did he get his wits about him to throw that ball? And there's got to be a lineman downfield, right?
Holy cow, my goodness. Jaquez Moore, I thought we had him dead to rights, Mike, in the end zone for a safety, and that was going to be a humongous play. How does a high school football player know? He's scrambling for his life, and you called it, got the whereabout to turn around and throw that ball out of there.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of times that we talk to coaches during the week, and we talk about this and that and the other, but there's been a lot of times over the years that they'll say, watch out for this guy, and listen, that's what Coach Mays told us this week, and this guy lives up to the billing. Jaquez Moore can play football.
Man, I'm telling you, 90% of high school quarterbacks, especially ones that can run, in that situation, they're going to tuck that ball, and they're going to do everything that they can do to try to get out of there. And that's what he did. He was scrambling for his life, and then all of a sudden, when it looked like the Wildcat defense had him surrounded, he throws the ball out of there and almost completes it, Mike.
Almost completes it. The completion would have probably lost yards. That's how far he was back in the backfield. So you think about it. After all that, it's just an incompletion, and so they'll come back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down about 20. So it's kind of unbelievable to think about. The way that he played that ball. But I mentioned the lineman downfield, but on a play like that, when he's scrambling, the linemen don't know. They probably came back to help, so they didn't really get up the field. But either way, it's still second down and 20, so just kind of like one of those long fly ball outs in a baseball game. You think it might be a home run, but just a long out. Second down and 20. Two receivers right, two to the left now. Looks like Graham in the backfield for his quarterback, Jaquez Moore. Wildcats going to bring a blitz. Here comes Jamarian Baker, and they're going to run it with Graham straight up the middle, and the Wildcats do a good job here and hold him to about a 5-yard gain, and it'll bring up a third down and about 13.
Third and 13. You had about a 3rd and 8 situation earlier that Suwannee was able to convert, ended up scoring on that drive. This is a perfect opportunity for this Wildcat defense to get off the field.
Third down, call it 13. Jaquez Moore in the gun again, same formation. Two receivers both sides. Watch for Fryer. They're going to slip it out here to the left side. It's going to be incomplete. The Wildcat defense has held this time, and he was looking for the captain, Wesley Jones, on that play, and the pass was a little bit out in front of him, and Jones could not bring it in, and even if he did, he would have been down right there. So the Wildcat defense, after the Cam Smith kickoff return for a touchdown, a little more energy, made some adjustments, and now we get a 3 and out.
Yeah, that's a great stand that time by the Wildcat defense. Going to flip this field position, too. We talked about Suwannee having great field position after the turnover. After this punt, the Wildcats should end up with good field position.
Wildcats send two guys back. One stands in their territory, and he's going to be the up man, and the ball would have come down there to Ellis, but he's just going to watch it. He's just going to watch it roll. The Cats will get good field position. Jamil Jones was the deep man. So at 46-yard line, you mentioned it, we've flipped the field position here. So now we'll finally get to see this Wildcat offense maybe for an extended period of time here because I think only 2 plays plus the 2-point conversion, right? So they've only been on the field 3 times.
and not the way you wanted to see it. The first offensive series for the Wildcats ends up in a fumble that Suwannee recovers, so a little redemption here for this Wildcat offense.
Cats trail 14-8, but our ball from the 46-yard line. Going to run straight up the middle with Graham, and Scooby is met at the line of scrimmage and is not going to get out of there, and he's asking for him to blow the whistle or something. But no gain on first down.
No, that time, I tell you, the last 2 years, and I know we played him last year, went over to Suwannee and were able to beat him over there. Scooby Graham's been the guy, so they're keying on Scooby Graham tonight.
Second down play. Crawford going to hand it to Cam Smith this time. Cam Smith looking for room. He's out across midfield, and Cam Smith's going to pick up about 8 here on the second down carry.
Yeah, and that's what Cam Smith brings to the table. Jamari and Baker, just a different pace. So you can key on Scooby Graham all night long. We want you to do that because there's 3 other guys down there, including Carson Crawford, that can make you pay.
And we're going quick here on 3rd and 2, and they're going to get a flag down here. Looks like we're going to get a sideline warning against the Suwannee Bulldogs, but that slows us down, and maybe they did that on purpose. 3rd down and 2, Crawford now with 3 receivers to the left side. He's got Jamad Ruiz over here along with Cameron Crawford and Scooby Graham. one receiver to the far side. I believe that's Richardson. Cam Smith's in the backfield. What are we doing? I mean, we're trying to go fast, and you get a sideline warning, and everybody just holds up for a couple of minutes. Third down play, 3rd and 2. Crawford going to keep it himself, and Crawford's going to be pushed back at the 45-yard line, and he's not going to get there, Jackie. It's going to be a yard, maybe a yard and a half short.
Yeah, it's Suwannee defense able to hold, and right now forcing the Wildcat offensive line, man. Got to get a block right here.
4th down play. Wildcats will run it with Scooby Graham, and he's going to be tackled short, Jackie. He didn't get there. They're not going to give him it. It's half a yard, and they've already signaled it's the other way. Suwannee has held the Wildcats on 4 downs. Nothing doing.
Oh, man, I tell you, that was kind of the matchup within the matchup. We said Suwannee's defense and Baker County's offense. Well, they talked very highly of that defensive front for the Suwannee Bulldogs, and I thought this Wildcat offensive line was going to be up for the challenge tonight, but so far, Suwannee getting the best of it.
I tell you what, man, a couple of plays there where the Wildcats trying to go quick. I really think the sideline warning threw everything off there. I really do. You don't make excuses in life, but I think in that situation, that's what happened. We probably, if that play just gets going, you probably get it and move on. But either way, 1st down and 10. Now Suwannee with the ball back. They lead it 14-8, 3:42 to go in the first quarter. Jaquez Moore with 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, and 2 backs in the backfield are going to keep it with the quarterback. And Weston Avera had his hands on him, slowed him up a little bit, and now the Wildcats corral and get him down. Zane Mobley, some other guys there. Carlos Jefferson, 2-yard gain.
Yeah, I love that we're rallying to the football, but at the same time, when you get a chance to get your hands on Jaquez Moore, you better bring him down the first time.
Yeah, Weston Avera had a hold of him at the point of attack there, and he just kind of slipped out. This is a really good football player. Jaquez Moore in the gun, going to take it. He's going to look to throw, and now he's going to be hit right there. Orlando Holland got a hand on him, and I was afraid they were going to throw a flag down because Holland just kind of inadvertently touched his face mask, but no harm, no foul. It'll be 3rd down and about 10.
Yeah, I thought the same thing there. Great play, though, by Orlando Holland, fighting off that block and doing a good job of containing Jaquez Moore. It looked like he was trying to slip it out again to Pryor. I don't know what he saw that he didn't like. I thought he had Pryor open, but nonetheless, he pulls it down, and Holland makes a great play from that defensive end spot.
Well, let's see if the Wildcats will come up and press coverage against these guys on 3rd and 10. They don't. They back off. We'll give them a little bit of cushion there. 3rd down and 10. Moore takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. A little underneath pass is going to be caught, but tackled right away. As DeHaven Clark was there, they threw it right across the middle to number 5, and that was Atkinson on the catch. But tackled right away. They'll have to punt it. So
that was Jamarian Baker, the running back. So he's mixing in down there in that linebacking core and makes a great play. Going to force Suwannee again to hopefully punt the ball.
I think they'll probably will punt it from here. You look at field position. They'd like to pin the Wildcats if they can. Jamil Jones is going to go back to return one here. He's standing at the 20-yard line. High snap. The Wildcats coming after it. Orlando Holland almost got a hand on it, and it's going to go out of bounds up around the 31-yard line. So good job of pressure there for the Cats. What's going on down there, Jack?
Got a referee. Yeah, referee
and a Suwannee player.
Looks like the referee took a tumble there on that one.
Well, we're going to take a moment and check on the referee. 14-8, Suwannee leads. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Dual State Real Estate is a proud supporter of Wildcat football. We offer home and land sales as well as property management in Florida and Georgia. Come in for a free consultation, and we'll show you how to get up to 16% more for your property. Mention this ad, and we'll give you free buyer representation. Don't hesitate. Call Dual State, owned and operated by Sabrina Thrift. Call us today at 904-397-0263 or check us out at dualstaterealestate.com. We'll give you service you deserve from people you can trust. And at Dual State Real Estate, we are always Wildcat proud.
Well, we haven't finished the first quarter here tonight, but, Jackie, there's been a ton of action in this ball game. Suwannee with a 14-8 lead over the Wildcats here in the first quarter, 1:35 to go. But a moment ago, we had a scary play here as one of the Suwannee players got tangled up with the official on the sideline, and the rescue ambulance, they've come out, the paramedics here have come out to tend to the referee. So we're going to just send him our well wishes, and he seems to be alert, and he seems to be fine on the sideline, but could be just going to check to see what the injury is, Jackie, but the paramedics working with him right now. So we'll check on that in just a moment. The Wildcats trail at 14-8. We get a couple of defensive stops here in a row and going to get the ball back on this punt out to the 32-yard line, and our offense will take over there. But so far, Jackie, we mentioned it in the pregame, Suwannee's been able to do some things against us offensively, but the defense has started to make some adjustments and doing well. But here's the thing. We talked about our offense versus their defense. Well, right now Suwannee's winning that battle. First possession tonight, we went 2 plays. We got a fumble on that play. They took over, so they took one away from us there. The next possession, we didn't get to run an offensive play because Cam Smith ran at 95 yards for the touchdown. But then the third possession, Jackie, we get the ball up near midfield, have a chance with the offense to go and put a drive together. They stop us on 4 plays and turn it over. So 6 plays is all that our offense has run here in this first quarter. And it's time. The offense is going to have to put something together.
Yeah, and I felt like we've had opportunities. Cam Smith was able to get to the outside, pick up big yardage, in the first, second down of that last series. Scooby Graham, he fumbled the ball, but was going to pick up big yardage on the outside there. So Suwannee really keying in inside the tackles, watching that counter play to Scooby Graham and Jamari and Baker. Not a lot doing there. Carson Crawford even tried to get in there and squeeze through to pick up the first down on third down, and couldn't get it done. So right now, this Wildcat offensive line, they've done a great job all season for us. Coach Scott McDonald's going to try to get those guys, got to figure it out, how to get those Suwannee defensive linemen off the ball and create some running lanes.
Well, while we've got a moment here, a little break in the action, I want to just thank a few folks that have made it possible for Wildcat football to be broadcast this year. And first and foremost, you got to start with our folks over at Glen Baptist Church. Glen Baptist Church operate 97.5 WFBB out of the gymnasium over there. John Meadows, my man, running the board over there each and every time we're on the air. So that's Friday nights and Monday nights. So we appreciate John Meadows for helping us get Wildcat football on the air, and Pastor Chaz Rowland and the folks at Glen Baptist. So that's number one. Jackie, the other thing is we have to have some sponsors to make it possible here for Wildcat football to go on the air. So I want to thank all of them. We don't spend enough time thanking these folks, but these folks do a lot for this community. Just want to take a moment. Leah Roden and the folks down at Baker Prevention Coalition, we appreciate what they do. They've hosted the Wildcat warm-up tailgate this year, trying to give young people things to do before the game, and just appreciate what they've done to support Wildcat football this year. Larry Berkins down at Berkins Chevrolet. Larry Berkins, it doesn't matter what you're talking about, Little League football, Wildcat football, Little League baseball. Larry Berkins wants to be involved, and he supports this community. Appreciate that. Blackburn Curry Funeral Home down there. Appreciate them joining along with us this year. Anita Cruz down at Country Financial Credit Union. Anytime you need something, Anita Cruz and that team, they step up. So we appreciate Country Financial. American Recycling, my buddy Tim Hughes, Wildcat Tim Hughes, has really supported this Wildcat football team. He's a former Wildcat, and he just loves Wildcat football and likes to be a part of it. So we appreciate American Recycling and Tim Hughes. My man Oscar Gray and Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning. If you didn't know this, on Monday nights from 7 to 8, you can tune right back in here to 97.5 FM And Jackie and I have our dependable heating and air conditioning coaches show each and every Monday night. We talk with Coach Kevin Mays, and we bring in a Wildcat football player. We had Ross Crummey, one of the offensive linemen, on the air this past week, along with former athletic director John Staples. So each week we try to mix it up and bring some folks in. We talk about Wildcat football, and we talk about our next opponents, and just have a good time on Monday night. So listen in if you can. I want to thank Sabrina Thrift down at Dual State Real Estate. I want to thank Randy Higginbotham and the guys over at Higginbotham Towing and Recovery in Glen St. Mary. And our halftime sponsor, Jackie, and tonight's halftime show, I can promise you, is going to be a good one, a lively one. Baker County Farm Bureau, Jack Baker, Justin Webb. We thank and appreciate them for what they do for Wildcat football. So those are our sponsors, Jackie, that have made it possible for us to be on the air. A lot of those guys, year in, year out, sponsor Wildcat football right here. So we appreciate them, and just want to take a moment to thank them.
Yeah, the sponsors, we couldn't do what we do without them, you know, and a big shout-out to John Meadows. He's done such a great job all season. We're going to give him next Friday night off, so we appreciate everything that he does down there at Glen Baptist for us. So, I mean, just as much as we have to be there on Fridays and Mondays, so does John to make it all run. So we appreciate him very much. But, again, all the sponsors who, you know, they text us all year, hey, what can we do for you, you know, this, that, and the other. And so we appreciate them very much. And then everybody that listens in on Mondays and Friday nights, that's the highlight of my week, you know, is to get these text messages on Friday night and hear people talk during the week, you know, hey, we appreciate it. We listen to you in the woods and this, that. And, well, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good stuff, Jackie. I mean, everywhere you go in McClenny, people want to talk about Wildcat football, and this year no different. The Wildcats 7-1, trying to get a win here at home in the final game of the year. Jackie, real quick, while we've got a break in the action, I want to go ahead and go back to what we were talking about a moment ago. Next week, actually this week, started the play-in playoff games for Class 5A in the Florida High School Activities Association. Next week, the Wildcats were scheduled to host Panama City Arnold here in the first round. That game will not happen, so the Wildcats are going to get a bye in the first round, and we'll move on to round two. If we looked at the bracket correctly, the Wildcats will play the winner of Westside and Rains. So Westside High School, a team that we played earlier this year, and Rains High School, those two teams will play next week in the first round of the playoffs. Whoever wins that game will host the Wildcats in round two. So if you were worried about getting your tickets for next week's playoff game and everything else, don't worry about it. That playoff game's not happening. So the Wildcats basically, after tonight, if we can get some momentum heading into next week, the Wildcats will have a week off, be 1-0 in the playoffs by virtue of the win next week that we don't have to play. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we'll be in the second round against the winner of Westside Rains.
Yeah, you nailed it all right there. So Westside beat Yulee in the little play-in game on our side of the bracket. So they advanced. The winner of that game was to play Rains. So Westside and Rains going to go at it. And the Wildcats get a first-round bye, essentially. Arnold not able to make the trip over here next Friday. So kind of, you know, it's one of those things you talk about it. We've talked about momentum all year, so you kind of want to play that game and keep the momentum going. But we got a couple bumps and bruises on this Wildcat team, so going to give them an extra week to get rested and turn around and face the winner of the Rains Westside game. So a couple ways to look at it.
Well, it can work out great for you, or it can work out not so good for you, right? So you get a momentum booster as you head to next week with a game here tonight. You know, if the worst thing were to happen and the Wildcats were to lose tonight, then you got to think about that for 2 weeks as you get ready for the playoff game. So I don't know. I don't know if I like the fact that we don't have that game or not, but either way, it won't happen now. So we'll go 2 weeks from tonight before we'll have our next game, and that'll be on the road versus either Westside or Rains, whoever wins that game. So if you're interested in following the bracket and you want to see, you know how that game goes, keep up with Westside Rains next week, and then you'll know who we play in 2 weeks for our second-round playoff game.
That was the most disappointing part to me, was that Arnold was going to have to come here, so we were going to get a playoff game in Memorial Stadium. Now,
which is always fun.
Yeah, but now you got to keep winning. You got to win the first two. So the first two games now are going to be away, but then we get to come back home for two in a row. So be interesting to see how it all shakes out. And I know the senior night here in Memorial Stadium tonight, they're looking forward to their chance to make a run in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, Jackie, with 1:35 to go in the first quarter, we're going to send it back to the station momentarily and take a 2-minute timeout. Well, we'll take a 1-minute timeout. And, John, if you'll give us a 1-minute timeout, we'll be back with more Wildcat football after this break right here on WFBB.
Since 1981, Higginbotham's Towing and Recovery has been serving the community of Baker County, providing safe and reliable towing needs. If you need a car or truck towed or even a shed in your backyard, Higginbotham's is a place to call. Located in Glen St. Mary, they are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. 259-4375. That's 259-4375. The Higginbotham family is so excited to be a proud supporter of Wildcat football.
Baker High Wildcats football is being brought to you by American Recycling Center. Recycling helps the environment. American Recycling offers compensation for cans, radiators, copper, brass, and aluminum. American Recycling Center located at 5325 Woodlawn Road. That's 1/2 mile west of 121 near I-10. Open weekdays from 9 till 5, Saturdays from 9 to 1. Telephone 631-0152. That's 631-0152. American Recycling Center. Happy to support Baker High football.
And we welcome you back here to Memorial Stadium, downtown McClenny, Florida. Mike Cruz, Jackie Baker, bringing you all to action of Wildcat football 2020. Wildcats hosting the Suwannee Bulldogs tonight. A 6-2 Suwannee Bulldog team making their way over from Live Oak, and 7-1 Baker County Wildcat football team here. We had a pause in the action. Normally, for injury timeouts, it's something that we see with players. This time, one of the sideline officials here was caught up with one of the Suwannee players during that last punt play, and unfortunately, they're going to have to take him to the hospital. I think he's got a little bit of a leg injury there, Jackie, and so they're just taking all the precaution they can with him to make sure that he's stable, and they're going to take him to the hospital. So we will send our best wishes and prayers along with the sideline official. I don't have his name, but we will send our best wishes and prayers with him for a speedy recovery from this. Just an accident, man. I mean, these things in football happen, and I think the official was looking one way and the play was coming the other way, and the officials got things that they're trying to keep their eye on during the game, and the crowd gives him a hand as he gives everybody a wave and a thumbs up as he leaves the field. So we just wish him nothing but the best, Jackie, and that's just one of those unfortunate bad situations that happens in football, and you hate to see it.
Yeah, I have no doubt about that. I've done my fair share of getting on some officials on Friday nights, but you never, ever, ever want to see anybody being toted off the field on a stretcher. But we wish him all the best. Like you said, he gives a thumbs up as he goes off on his way to the ambulance, and he'll get down there to Ed Frazier, and they'll take good care of him. And so we do. We send our thoughts and prayers out with him. And they're going to send the teams that was such a long break. They're going to get a little chance to warm back up for just a few minutes, get a little stretching in.
Well, we got a football game to play here, and we do wish the official well, and we'll get back to it in a moment. Like you said, anytime you have a lengthy break like that, you want the players to have the opportunity to stretch before they get back on the field, so they're going to do that. Jackie, we're going to take 30 seconds away from talking about this football game for just a moment, and I'll tell you a little story. I had to run down to the restroom before the game started tonight, and as I made my way there, I ran into about 4 guys that I went to high school with. They were all wearing their Georgia Bulldog hats, not their Baker County Wildcat hats. They were wearing their Georgia Bulldog hats, and they were all talking about the game tomorrow. And they saw me walk up, and they had a couple words for me. It might have been like "Go Dogs" or something of that nature. And Jackie, I just want to tell folks, stay tuned for our halftime show tonight, our Farm Bureau halftime report. And if there's not any other football games on tomorrow, there's at least one that we're going to spend some time talking about at halftime. And I've got some words of wisdom and some keys to that ball game that I want to share. So please stay tuned during our dependable heating and air conditioning coaches show. And One of those guys might have been on the chain gang over there across the way. Scott Knowles with his Georgia Bulldogs hat on.
Oh, my goodness. I don't want to get into it yet. We're going to
not yet. I said, I just want to let folks know that at halftime we are going to have our dependable heating and air conditioning. Our Farm Bureau halftime report, and we've got some stuff to talk about, Jackie. So I just want to remind them of that and to stay tuned during the halftime break. Big game tomorrow, for sure. But we've got a big one here first. The Wildcats and the Bulldogs getting back to it here. Suwannee across the way just punted to the Wildcats. So to reset the game action for you on the air, the Wildcats trail Suwannee here 14-8 with 1:35 to go in the first quarter. Suwannee scored on their opening possession. They went 75 yards on a touchdown drive to open the game. Quarterback Jaquez Moore went in for a 1-yard touchdown. And then on the ensuing possession, the Wildcats, 2 plays in, we fumbled the football. Suwannee recovered. And just a couple of plays later, Jaquez Moore threw a touchdown pass to a receiver in the end zone and made it a 14-0 game. So that was the first time this season the Wildcats have trailed 14-0 in a ball game, and the first time this season we haven't scored on our opening possession. So fortunately for the Cats, on the ensuing kickoff after the Suwannee touchdown, Cam Smith took the return 95 yards. The Wildcats got the 2-point conversion, and that's where we stand. It's 14-8, and the Wildcats with the ball from the 31-yard line. Carson Crawford's under pressure here. He's going to try to run out of there, and he's going to pick up positive yardage. And a flag comes in late as it looks like a late hit on the quarterback, or they were at least going after his helmet there, and you're going to get a 15-yarder on top of it. So Carson Crawford made a positive play there, gained 9 yards, and we're going to get 15 more.
Yeah, that time Carson Crawford, little play action, looking to throw the football, but the pressure got to him, and he takes off and was going to pick up good yardage. And now we're going to tack on 15 more to that. So a great play that time by Carson Crawford with the awareness to tuck it and run.
And he did. And I tell you, Carson Crawford was just about sacked on that play, Jackie. And tough running right there to get upfield. But the Wildcat offensive line is going to have to come to play here the rest of this ballgame. First down and 10. Crawford in the shotgun. Crawford takes the snap, and the Wildcats are going to get flagged here for illegal motion. Wildcats man in motion looked like, or maybe one of the, he's talking to Jamarian Baker. I think he just moved right before the play, false start.
That was a killer, man. Penalties, as good as we've been on offense, you don't ever want to start behind the chains on first down, especially against the Suwannee defense, the way this game's gone tonight.
Just over a minute to go here in the first quarter. Carson Crawford out there, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Crawford going to throw. Looks across the middle. He's got Jamal Ruiz, and Jamal Ruiz just cannot make the catch. He had him on an inside slant pass, and Jamal Ruiz would have had a touchdown. He just couldn't quite hang on to it.
Golly, that was a great ball that time by Carson Crawford. Puts it right where J-Mod had a chance to get it. Had 2 or 3 opportunities to catch it. That's a misfortunate.
Wildcats, yeah, but the Wildcats line it right back up. They run another receiver on the field. That's Brian Mays. And now Crawford going to be drilled right up the middle as he keeps the zone read. And it's going to be 3rd down. He got nothing on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and about 4.
Nothing doing. I'm telling you right now, in between the tackles, right now, this Suwannee defensive front living up to the hype, Mike.
No doubt about it. And they're running a 3-man front or a 4-man front, and they're not even bringing any help. That defensive line, stout. 3rd down play. Crawford rolls to his right. He's got a man. A catch is made by Scooby Graham. Scooby's going to get upfield here, and he's going to get down to the 40-yard line. And I said it was 3rd down and 4, but I didn't take into consideration the 5-yard penalty we had earlier, so we actually needed to get to the 36-yard line of Suwannee. So now it's 4th down. Call it about 3.5, and the Wildcats are going for it. No, trying to get Suwannee to come over on the hard cadence count. And it almost had him, but he didn't come in there, and now the Cats are going to call a timeout.
Oh, man, I'm not sure Coach Kevin Mays saw how much time left. Could have just let the clock run out, 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter, but elects to take a timeout there.
Coach Mays calls a timeout. Since there's only 9 seconds left in the half, we're going to keep it here. and not in the half, in the first quarter. What a long first quarter.
Has it not been the longest first quarter? I'm telling you, we put the running clock on some teams this year, so we're able to get out of here at a decent hour. But I'm going to tell you, the first quarter is past my bedtime already.
It's an hour long right now. We're looking at an hour for one quarter of play here, as both of these teams have taken their time. And, not only that, you get a lot of stoppages of the play. They've thrown the football a lot. And then we had an injury timeout for about 10 minutes with the officials. So take all that into consideration, and we're an hour deep into this ball game, still in the first quarter. Fourth down, the Cats are going for it. They need about 4 yards. Carson Crawford back there with Jamarian Baker. Wildcats going to run it. Crawford keeps it himself, and he's got the first down and more. He's at the 25. Crawford at the 20. Crawford just ran a little read fake, and he got down to the 17-yard line, and the Wildcats will have a first down there.
Just when we needed to jack that offensive line up a little bit, my goodness, so they opened a hole that time for Carson Crawford, and he's able to pick up a huge first down. Good job up front by the big guys.
First down and 10 for Crawford and the Wildcats as they get it down to the 17-yard line. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play here as the Wildcats are going to go to the locker room. I keep thinking it's halftime, and it's still just the end of the first quarter. That's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. Wildcats trail at 14-8, but we've got something going here. We'll have a first down and 10 when we come back. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332.
And we welcome you back here. The Wildcats will have a first down and 10 from the Suwannee 16-yard line. After that fourth down conversion, Carson Crawford took it down to the 16 on tough running. It'll be first down and 10 from there. Crawford with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jamarian Baker in the backfield, Scooby Graham in the slot. Here we go, first down. Going to swing it out here to Baker, and he throws the ball just a little bit ahead of Baker. They couldn't quite get the timing together there, trying to run a little slip pass out of the backfield.
Yeah, he had him too, Mike. Trip receivers up there to the left, just going to swing it out to Baker. Had Scooby Graham, Carson Crawford. I can't tell. Oh, Tyler Richardson out there blocking for him, so he would have had some room to run. And Carson that time, like you said, just leads him a little too much.
Second down play now from the 16-yard line. Going to get a whistle from the far sideline. And a flag. Yeah, going to call it against the Cats. Sideline warning. That's number 2. That should be.
Yeah, they're going to call the penalty.
Yeah, there you go. That's going to help the Cats. You get a sideline warning. It's a 5-yard penalty. So let's go back and call that first down pass complete. We got 5 yards on it. There you go.
Great throw that time by Carson Crawford.
Second down and 5 now. The Cats from the 11-yard line. The Cats trying to take the lead for the first time here tonight. 11:55 to go, second quarter, just underway in the second quarter. It's been a long football game so far, but the Cats now knocking on the door. Jackie, first quarter, the Cats only ran 11 plays, and they only had 65 yards in quarter 1. Trying to turn that around offensively in quarter 2. Crawford going to give it to Scooby Graham. Scooby hits the right side of the line hard, but he's not going to get very far, maybe a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Now, I'm telling you, there's just not a lot of room down there tonight in between the tackles. Scooby Graham, that play is one that we usually pick up chunk yardage on. You saw it last week, just able to run at will, and tonight, not a lot doing down there.
Defensive front for Suwannee has really limited the Wildcat offense. As I mentioned, only 65 yards of offense in the first half, or in the first quarter. Seems like the first half. We've been here for a while.
You'd love to see. I mean, the Wildcat offense getting it done on this possession. You'd love to see them put points on the scoreboard here with 11:39 to go in the second quarter, down 14-8.
Jackie, we've talked about some of the seniors that walked before the game tonight on senior night. I had a chance to talk with Scott Avera Scott Aver is the father of Weston Aver that plays on the defensive line for this Wildcat football team. And he told me, he said, hey, when you guys do your shout-outs tonight, give a shout-out to one of the guys that I used to go to high school with. Told me he listens in every week from Dallas, Texas, and his name is Alan Adams. I don't know if you remember Alan Adams, Jackie, but Alan Adams was a guy that I went to high school with, maybe a year or two older than me. He was friends with Scott Aver, and that group of guys was a basketball guy, Jackie. You'd love talking to Alan Adams about basketball. So, Alan, if you're listening in tonight, go Wildcats, and it was good to hear from Scott that you listen in every week. Third down play, 3rd down and 4. Carson Crawford in the shotgun. Carson takes it, going to give it to Jamarian Baker, and Jamarian Baker fights his way down to the 5-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down.
Good, tough running that time by Jamarian Baker. Again, not a whole lot doing, but Jamarian Baker sees a crease, and now the Wildcats are going to go.
First down and goal from the 5. Carson Crawford takes it, gives it to Scooby, and Scooby's going to be brought down from behind, but he gets positive yards down inside the 2.
Yep, down to the 2-yard line. Carson trying to get him on the line, going to hurry him up here. I felt like that time Carson had a chance if he keeps that one. Maybe he strolls into the end zone.
The officials have not let the Wildcats get this up-tempo offense going. Every play, they're holding it up for some reason. 2nd down and goal. Carson Crawford takes it again, and he's going to keep it this time, Jackie, just like you said. He fakes it to Scooby Graham inside. He goes around the corner, and Carson Crawford on the 2-yard dive, and the Wildcats have the lead 15-14.
Again, that's all set up by what Scooby Graham did to this Suwannee team last year. They are keying in on Scooby Graham so hard, the defensive end just dives down on the Scooby on the fake, and Carson Crawford reads it perfectly.
And I don't know what I'm talking about is Scooby Graham. They're going to run the 2-point conversion, and Jamarian Baker's going to get it, but I can't even add, Jackie. I said the Wildcats took the lead 15-14, but no, it was tied 14-14. And now with the 2-point conversion, we go ahead 16-14. So 2 for 2 tonight, 100% on the 2-point conversion.
That's always a good place to be. More than anything, like I said, the Wildcats go down, put a drive together, put points on the board, and take a lead. So what started out in that first quarter, what seemed like a rough first quarter, rough start of the ball game, Wildcats find themselves with 11 minutes, so 1 minute into this second quarter with a lead and a lot of energy and hype on this Wildcat sideline.
I'll tell you what, now you talk about that 50% rule on 2-point conversions. When you can come out and get the first 2, see, now you're like almost ahead of the chain. Like, think about it from this perspective. If you get 4 touchdowns in a game, that's typically 28 points, right? So the next 2 touchdowns, if the Wildcats don't get one, we're still going to have 28. So that's what getting those 2-point conversions does for you. This time, Scooby Graham tries to get a little too much English on it and kicks it out of bounds over here on the near sideline. And Suwannee should take the ball around the 35, I believe, is the rule. On 1st and 10, might be the 40. But the Wildcats come back here, Jackie. We were down 14-0, and now 16 unanswered points. Cam Smith returned to kickoff return for a touchdown, and here the Wildcats go and go down the field. It's the rules to the 35, right? But if it's
I guess if it doesn't make it to the 35, wherever it goes out of bounds. So that answers my question. Remember how I said if you got a penalty, he just kicked it out of bounds? That answers my question I've been pondering for years, Mike. You just hit the ball where it goes out of bounds if it doesn't get to the 35.
There you go. 38-yard line is where Suwannee will start it. That's where the ball went out of bounds. And based on the way we kicked off this year, that's not the worst thing in the world.
Absolutely not. How many times have we pooched it to the 38 right there and made them fair catch it? So nothing much different than what we've done all year. And what in the world?
I don't know. The officials on every play have had a huddle and a conversation, and when we're trying to run up tempo, they've had to move the ball. Now they're going to add 5 yards penalty to where the ball went out of bounds. So I don't know that that's the right call. You either have to penalize them where the ball went out of bounds or penalize them with the 35-yard line, which would be the rule. I mean, you add 5 to where it went out of bounds, that's tough. But
again, not far off from where we started. See if Coach Canada got this Wildcat defense where they need to be.
From the 43-yard line, Jaquez Moore back on the field now, the quarterback from Suwannee. 3 receivers on the right side. They're going to run the ball with the quarterback as he's going to pick his way around the corner, and he's got midfield, and he's to the Wildcat 45 and goes out of bounds around the 43-yard line. So you see Jaquez Moore's ability right there as he just fakes the handoff to the running back and goes around right in for big yardage.
I tell you, more than anything, what I've been impressed with is Jaquez Moore, his elusiveness, and I don't mean in the open field. We're getting hands on him, and he's just able to break tackles. That time I saw defensive linemen that had their hands on Jaquez Moore and thought it was enough to slow him up. But when he gets to the outside, he is dangerous.
Well, you look at him, Jackie. He's put together. This is not a little frail quarterback back there. I mean, he can run, and he's a big boy. So he's not going down with an arm tackle. First down play, pump fake. He's looking down the sideline deep for his receiver Fryer. It's under good coverage back there for the Wildcats. And it looked like maybe the offensive guy pushed off, but great coverage by DeHaven Clark.
I'll tell you what, I know he pushed off because DeHaven Clark was going to pick that ball off, Mike, and took a stumble there on a push from the Suwannee wide receiver. And the coach, as the receiver goes to the sideline, coach gives him a high five because he knows that that's a turnover by DeHaven Clark. So good coverage there.
Second down play now. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. Second down from the 45 of the Wildcats. They're going to run the ball this time, coming around the end. And Ronnie Ellis is going to force him to the sideline, but Graham is all the way down the sideline as he turns the corner to the 20. I thought he was going to go out of bounds right here, but the Wildcats stopped pursuit, and Graham is going to pick up about 25 yards.
You got to get him out of bounds. You can't assume he's going to run out of bounds. He's a running back. He's not a quarterback. He's not just going to run out and say, okay, I'll take this 2-yard loss. My goodness. Dropped his shoulder and hit him.
He got all the way to the 19-yard line. That was a 26-yard gain on a play where we had him bottled up on the sideline. First and 10, Suwannee in business again in the red zone. Moore is going to keep it this time, and the Wildcats have him bottled up, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. And this is where you have to look back to see where the linemen are, because there it is. There it is. Because Moore, if he's going to make that decision to just flip it away, and they've got a lineman downfield, it's going to cost him 5 yards.
And I'll tell you what, Coach Canada and Coach Mays both have watched that on film, and they've made those officials aware that any time that happens, there's going to be a lineman down there. And so far, these officials have gotten it right.
Yeah, they looked around. You could see the judge in the middle of the field that time. He looked around and made sure that he had it right, and you're going to get 5 yards. Wildcats played that perfectly. They had 3 guys that had Jaquez Moore corralled in the backfield, and he would have been sacked, but he flips it out of bounds, and that's where you get the illegal lineman downfield.
You're right. That was a good play, good pursuit over there by Toby Kinghorn. Looked like Ronnie Ellis, a host of Wildcats down there trying to corral Moore. And, again, if that's the worst thing that happens, that he flips it for an incomplete pass, that's a break for this Wildcat defense.
First down and 10 now, Suwannee from the Wildcat. First down and 15 from the Wildcat 24. They lose 5 yards on the illegal lineman downfield penalty. 10:20 to go here in the first half of play tonight. The Wildcats on top by 2, 16-14. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He's going to flip one left side. He's got a receiver. That's Jones on the catch, and Jones is going to be pushed out of bounds around the 21-yard line, so they get about 4 yards back, but short gain.
I tell you, and that looks to be their go-to right there. You said it from the beginning of the game. Jaquez Moore is not going to hold the ball very long. He's trying to get it out quick, and so far they've been successful. They pick up 5 yards there on first down, so they get the penalty yardage back.
Jaquez Moore looking to the sideline. They've got 3 receivers split to the right, 1 to the left, and Jones over here as well. They don't have a back in the game right now. You're going to have a 5-receiver set, and Moore is going to be in the backfield by himself in the shotgun here. Second down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Jaquez Moore in the gun, takes the snap. He's rolling right, looks downfield. He looks for a man across the middle, and it's going to be knocked away. He had him. Fryer came free at the goal line, They had the play designed. The receiver was there, but the Wildcats close, make the hit on him when the ball gets there, and it comes out. It'll be third down.
That was a great play that time by Jamil Jones. You're right. I thought he had Fryer in the end zone. Looked like they were going to throw that bubble screen. He faked the bubble screen, got Fryer running a post down the middle of the field. Jamil Jones and DeHaven Clark able to get down there and knock it away at the last minute.
I tell you what, when you see Jaquez Moore roll to his right, and he's got time to throw the football, he can put some zip on it. And that time he hit Fryer at the goal line, but the Wildcat, I think that was Jamil Jones, was it, that came over and put a hit on him and knocked the ball free. Third down and 10 from the 19, and you're going to get a timeout. Coach Kennedy not liking what he sees on defense there. 10:05 to go in the second quarter. And, Jackie, we might be here till midnight.
Taking a little while. These teams decide they want to come out and throw the ball a little bit. These incomplete passes. Stopping the clock, man. Come on. Run the ball.
Do you have anywhere to go tonight after the game? I just want to make sure that I'm not keeping you.
I am getting older, Mike. My bedtime starts getting earlier and earlier every year.
Well, just wait a few. Just wait a few. 10:05 to go, second quarter. It's a beautiful night for football here in Memorial Stadium. Plenty of folks came to watch the Wildcats regular season finale here. Wildcats are 7-1, trying to go 8-1 on the year.
Yeah, put together a great season so far. The only blemish against the Bowles Bulldogs, who unfortunately do that to a lot of teams year in and year out. A tough Bowles Bulldogs team that came in here to Memorial Stadium, and the lone loss for this Wildcat team, but they bounced back beautifully so far. Kind of got that swagger that they had pre-Bowles, getting that back and playing hard and going toe-to-toe right now with a good Suwannee team.
Toe-to-toe is right. 16-14 ball game. Wildcats on top by 2, trying to get the Suwannee offense off the field. They face a 3rd and 10 from the Wildcat 19. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. 5 receiver set here, and a flag down. The timeout called by the Suwannee coaching staff. They come running in right before the play started, so both teams burn a timeout on this play, Jackie, and we're still sitting on 10:05 to go, second quarter.
Coach Kennedy and Coach Kyler Hall, they're not playing checkers, Mike. They're playing chess out there.
Playing chess.
That time, Coach Kennedy, he made the right defensive call and what he thought they were going to do, and he forces Coach Kyler Hall. He didn't like what he saw, so he runs down, calls a timeout right before the snap. So this is a big third down. What do you do here? 3rd and 10, so you're trying to pick up, I would think, if this is 4-down territory for you, you got to pick up 5 or 6. So not necessarily a throwing down for them. Jaquez Moore, they got plays, I'm sure, in the playbook just to him.
Well, Jackie, the coaching staff over there, we have a good relationship with the folks from Suwannee, but they've got a personal attitude about this game. They want to win this football game. We were joking earlier in the week on the coach's show, kind of playing around a little bit with the Suwannee team, and I don't think that they're joking around this week. They want to come and try to beat this Wildcat football team.
No, I can assure you, and not saying it doesn't mean something to us. I want to beat them too, but I think it means a lot more to them than it does to us.
3rd down and 10. Jaquez Moore again. They run the same set, 5 receivers. Wildcats show blitz. They send the man in motion. They're going to give it to him on the sweep. Number 5's got the ball, and he's going to be brought down. He only picks up about 2. Good pursuit by the Wildcats, led by Jamarian Baker, and that was number 5, Atkinson, on the carry.
That was a great play that time, right at the mesh point again. Just another read option play, but from a jet sweep. So Jaquez Moore, he has the opportunity, if he feels it, to pull that ball and run, but nothing doing as a host of Wildcats read it perfectly.
So Suwannee will try to take the lead here. They're going to send the kicker on the field. They'll spot the ball on the right hash of the 23-yard line. It'll be a 33-yard attempt as Brown is on to attempt the field goal. 33 yards from the right hash. It's got the distance. Is it down the middle? And it is a penalty. The play was halted. Did the Wildcats come off sides?
I think that's going to be the call. Oh, no, false start. Wow.
So now they'll have to back it up 5 yards. He had the leg. I think the kick was good. We never got a signal from the officials down there because of the flag on the field, but 33 from the right hash. They'll now back it up 5, so it'll be 38 yards from the right hash. And Suwannee will leave the kicker on the field.
Watch out for the fuse box, son.
we don't need that tonight. It's already late. Kicker lines it up. The holder will be at the 28-yard line. It's a 38-yard attempt, and we get a flag before the play.
He made it again.
He had plenty of leg that time. He might have pulled it left, but the Wildcats are going to give him the 5 yards back. Somebody over the center simulated a snap is what the official in the box tells us, so probably going to be 5 yards against the Cats here, and it will go back to a 33-yard attempt.
Yeah, I think in high school you're not allowed to line up over the center, and he didn't line up over him, but from the linebacker position, stunted a blitz there at him.
Oh, my goodness. They call this a personal foul penalty. So not only is it a penalty, but it's going to move Suwannee down to the 11-yard line. So now Suwannee has a chance to rethink their decision here to kick the field goal. Will they go for it? It's only 4th down and 2 now. The kicker's staying on the field for now. But Suwannee may talk about this after the personal foul. It's not an automatic first down, so it goes down to around the 12-yard line. They're gonna think about it. I would guess they're gonna pull this kicker off the field and go for it, wouldn't you? They call timeout. I'm guessing you're going to see the offense come back on the field here, Jackie. You've only got 4th down and 2, and with Jaquez Moore and this Suwannee offense.
Hey, look at there. Everybody's going to burn their timeout. You would think that there was 54 seconds left in the half. I mean, there's 8:54 left in the first half here, and timeouts just back and forth between both teams. I don't know, Mike. You're early in the game here. This kick puts you up. Maybe if you were down right here, I could see you going for it. But with a chance to take the lead, I'm not so sure you don't kick it here and go up 17-16.
I hear you, but if I'm the Suwannee coaching staff, I wouldn't have even thought about it. Once you saw the personal foul being called on the Wildcats, they move it down there, and it's only 4th down and 2. I would immediately send my offense on the field. That would be my call, but we're not coaches, so.
No, you're right. And listen, with a kid like Jaquez Moore, where an average team may decide, okay, yeah, we think we can get this. If I got Jaquez Moore, my chances, I feel like, go up substantially.
I will tell you this, though. If I was the Suwannee coaching staff and I was going to leave the kicker on the field, I sure wouldn't have called timeout there. And they are going to bring the offense back on the field. Jaquez Moore brings the offense back on the field. 4th down and 2 now from the 12-yard line. They need to get it inside the 10. Not quite to the 9, but they need to get it just inside the 10 for a first down. One back in the backfield, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. He calls for the football. High snap. They run it straight up the middle, and he's going to be close to the first down. I think he got it.
Yeah, he got it. Just a full head of steam there, right in between the tackles, and he's going to pick up the first down on just a straight handoff. No read that time. But I was just informed by our stat man, Justin Thomas, that was Suwannee's last time out. So with 8:50 and counting here in this second quarter, Suwannee Bulldogs are out of timeout, down 16-14.
Out of timeouts, but they're sitting 1st and goal inside the Wildcat 10. That penalty on the Cats on the kick turns to be costly as it gives Suwannee new life. 1st down and 10, high snap, back to Moore, and he's going to be sacked way back in the backfield as Ronnie Ellis comes off the corner and brings down Moore. The snap was high. Moore had to go back and get it, and Ronnie Ellis brings him back there close to the 20-yard line. It's a 10-yard loss.
That's the first time tonight we've seen somebody get their hands on Moore and him not go anywhere. Great play that time by Ronnie Ellis. The high snap helps, but Ronnie Ellis bearing down on him, able to wrap him up and bring Moore down for a huge loss there.
2nd down now. Now it's a 2nd and goal situation from all the way at the 20. That was about a 12-yard loss for the Bulldogs. So now the Wildcat defense can kind of pin their ears back a little bit and try to push them back further. 7:50 to go, second quarter. Wildcats on top by 2, 16-14. Moore takes the snap. They're just going to, no, he's going to fake it to the running back, and he's going to run it left side. He threw it past the line of scrimmage, Jackie. He was past the 20-yard line when he threw it. It was complete down to the goal line, but, Jackie, he was past the 20-yard line when he threw the football.
Yeah, I thought so too, Mike.
I don't understand why we don't get a flag for that. He should have been past the line of scrimmage, but the pass was complete down inside the 5, and it's going to be 3rd and goal down there. If I promise I wasn't seeing things. He was past the line of scrimmage.
We'll have to look at it on replay. Jeremy Height got the replay over here. We'll look at that later on, but
we'll check.
Nonetheless, you got to keep them out of the backfield. Got to stay on these receivers.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Moore now takes the snap, going to run it himself. He's running to the right. Wildcats have him contained. He's going to throw it to the end zone now. And do they have anybody downfield? I guess not. He faked the handoff up the middle. They had a receiver that was out there. The Wildcats came off the receiver to contain the quarterback and got burned over the top. It'll be touchdown Suwannee, and they take a 20-16 lead.
And that time again, the Wildcat defensive front had a chance at Moore. Had their hands on him and unable to bring him down. And this time it results in 6 points.
Yeah, you go back just a moment ago. Suwannee had a penalty on a kick. They were trying the field goal. They had the penalty that backed them up 5 yards, and then the Wildcats got a penalty on the next attempt, and they called it a personal foul lining up over the center position. And that gave Suwannee a chance. Now they're going to go for 2. They throw it across the middle, and they got the 2-point conversion. Quarterback Moore put it into the running back's belly, then pulled it out, throws it across the middle. They get the 2-point conversion, and now they're up 6 again, 22-16. And that possession went poorly for the Wildcat defense after the penalty to set Suwannee back up. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Suwannee on top, 22-16. We'll be back with more Wildcat football on WFBB.
Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation is honored to be a sponsor of Wildcat football. James Curry is a proud Baker County Wildcat, class of 1987. He and his wife Shannon own Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation, located at 380 North Louder Street in McClenny. They can be reached 24 hours a day by calling 259-2806. To learn more, please visit www.blackburncurryfh.com. Proving not all funeral homes are the same, one family at a time. Go Wildcats!
J-Mod Ruiz going to take the kickoff return, coming down at the 5-yard line. Ruiz is around the corner. He's across the 20 to the 25, hurdles a man out across the 30, and goes out of bounds around the 32-yard line. A good return there for J-Mod Ruiz and the Wildcat kick return team as they find themselves down here a touchdown, 22-16, down 6 points to the Bulldogs after the Bulldogs scored a moment ago. So the Wildcat offense now, Jackie, got to get something going here, get it back up the field.
Yeah, and I tell you, it almost feels like you should press. There's been so much time in this ball game already. When Suwannee scores like that, it's like, goodness, there can't be much time left in the half. Let's go down. We got to score quick now. But there's 7:17 left in the second quarter.
Plenty of time.
No need to panic.
No need to panic. No need to panic. First down and 10, Wildcats. Crawford going to keep it himself, and he's going to be upended right there at the line of scrimmage. They ran into each other. Crawford and the running back kind of ran into each other, and that sealed the fate on that play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, nothing doing on that time. On that play, Cam Smith and Carson Crawford just not on the same page with the handoff.
Scooby Graham lines up in the slot here. 3 receivers to the right side. Crawford going to throw it over here. He's got Cameron Crawford, and he's going to get tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He needed one block, and he couldn't quite get it. And Cameron Crawford didn't think he was down, still running, but they're going to tackle him for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, nothing doing that time on that play. Cornerback gets right up in the face of the receiver, and listen, as well as Suwannee's receivers have blocked tonight, you'd think our guys want a little in on a little bit of that action.
Third down now. The Wildcats need nearly 13 yards. Crawford, a straight drop, looks down the middle. He's got Jamod Ruiz over here, but throws behind him. Not sure if they had the same route in mind as Crawford threw that one behind Ruiz. Ruiz looked to be going toward the middle, and it'll be fourth down.
Man, that's not what you wanted to happen on that series. 3 and out and just nothing doing. Actually lost yardage on that series, so 4th and 12 here, and the Wildcats are going to punt it away. Hardly any time run off the clock.
Fourth down play, the Wildcats will punt it. Good high kick coming up here. Fair catch called for down around the 40, and he fumbles the football. Suwannee had 3 guys around him, though, and they're going to pick it up, and they'll fall on it back around the 36-yard line. Wildcats needed a break like that, can't quite get it. As Suwannee falls on it, it'll be 1st and 10 from there.
Man, I tell you, they're going to get the mid-quarter water break here.
The good old water break.
But I was going to say, anytime the ball's hit the turf tonight, been unfortunate for the Wildcats. It just doesn't seem to be bouncing our way. A couple of the first one and Scooby Graham, I mean, that was all on the Wildcats. But, man, that thing, when it hit the ground, it bounced right to a Suwannee player. And that time, Suwannee fumbles the punt, but able to jump right back on it.
So Suwannee will have a 1st down and 10 from the 37-yard line. They lead the Wildcats 22-16. They had a 14-0 lead early on in the ball game, and then the Wildcats unanswered 16 straight points to take a 16-14 lead. But just a moment ago, you heard they drove down the field and got the touchdown to make it a 22-16 lead against the Wildcats now. And the Wildcat offense goes 3 and out to give Suwannee the ball back on the punt play. And the defense, if the defense can come up big here, get a 3 and out, still plenty of time for the Wildcats to get the ball back in this half, as there's still 6 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the first half of play here. As this has been a long half of football. 1st down and 10 now. Jaquez Moore brings the team out. They split 2 receivers to the right, 2 backs in the backfield from their own 37-yard line after the punt. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun, takes the snap, going to hand the ball to Graham. Graham's running to the right side, being chased by Connor South. He's going to get the corner before Jamil Jones pushes him out over there and pick up about 5 yards.
And so far, I tell you, this Suwannee team, they are fast, Mike. Again, we talked about it early on in the ball game. If you don't take the right angles, next thing you know, you're trailing big time. And that's happened several times tonight as those Suwannee skill kids are getting around the outside, and Wildcats, instead of taking better angles, chase them from behind and letting them pick up big yardage.
Everything starts at the quarterback position with this offense, though, and with that RPO and a little bit of misdirection. Jaquez Moore kind of controls it there. They're going to hand it left side this time, and the running back's going to get out to the 46 where his knee went down, and they're going to spot it there. Good job by this sideline official to see that it came from the 46. That's actually the official who was running the clock earlier in the game, Jackie. He had to take this side as the other official was injured. We send our wishes to him for a speedy recovery. 3rd down and 1 now from the 46-yard line.
Need a stop.
Wildcats need a stop badly here on 3rd down and 1. And Moore's just going to come up to the line of scrimmage, and he's just going to take it straight out near the 50-yard line and get a 1st down.
I tell you, he's a kid, man. Again, even when you get your hands on him, he's gonna get you 2 yards. So Wildcats just really haven't had much of an answer for Moore tonight. Had opportunities to bring him down in the backfield. 1 sack off a high snap by Ronnie Ellis. They'll send 1 back off the field for this play on 1st and 10. They're at their own 49-yard line. Clock running, under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Suwannee with a 6-point lead. From the 49, Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right. Moore takes the snap, rolls to his right, now looks to throw. Fires one deep, nobody home. The Wildcats are back there, and an interception is made. Haven Clark gets it, and he's going to bring it back out to the 5. He's across the 10, and now a flag down behind the play. They're going to call this one back as the Haven Clark brought it all the way out to the 40, but they're going to get one of the Wildcats for holding
on one of the Suwannee players in the end zone on this return, I'm afraid, Jackie.
That's what the call is. That's a terrible call, but that's what the call is going to be. My goodness, that is a very bad call, but what a great play that time by DeHaven Clark as the first mistake of Jaquez Moore tonight, just throwing the ball into no man's land, and DeHaven Clark runs it down. I think Jaquez Moore thought he was going to throw it over everybody's head.
Here's kind of the tricky situation. Typically, if you see a holding call in the end zone like that on an offensive play, it'd be a safety in the end zone. But since he's bringing it back out on an interception return, I guess that's not part of it. But they're going to mark this ball all the way back at the 1 yard line.
That's a terrible call. My goodness, that's a bad call. I was watching it. You know, the ones I don't see, I don't really have to say much about. But that one I was watching, and there was nothing else going on down there. DeHaven Clark, another Wildcat player, and a Suwannee Bulldog, and he throws a good block. And DeHaven Clark decides he's going to bring it out of the end zone. My goodness.
Yeah, that's a tough call. DeHaven Clark would have had it back around the 40-yard line on the return, and instead the Wildcats start from their own 1 yard line, trying to run it out from there, and we don't get much there. The ball goes back to the line of scrimmage, and that's a tough call. Tough call for the Wildcats to take there, and that's one of those things that if you go 3 and out here and you have to punt it back, they're going to get great field position. So that's a tough one. Second down play from the same spot. Carson Crawford in the gun, takes the snap, going to keep it himself, running to the left, and Crawford gets it out near the 5 yard line, pushed across the 5 to around the 6.
What a great tough run that time by Carson Crawford. Had the read option and then the pitch option out there with Scooby Graham, and Carson sees a little crease and says, man, I got to get this thing off the half-yard line. So he lowers his head there and picks up good yardage.
Third down, about 5. Wildcats need a first down here. Clock running down to 3:40 in the half. Crawford going to give the ball to Scooby Graham. No, he pitches it out here to Cam Smith, and Cam Smith fighting his way out to the 8 yard line is going to be short of the first down, and that's going to be a punt situation for this Cat offense. That play was busted at the beginning. I thought he was giving it off to Graham, but he kept it, was able to flip it over to Cam Smith. He got it out to the 7, so it's going to be a punt from inside the end zone for Jamil Jones.
And what's disappointing about that call earlier is you just took a huge it did us no good. I'd have rather held him there and made him punt the ball.
Jamil Jones from our end zone punts one. He kicks a line drive to Graham, and Graham's going to take a knee as he catches it at the 39 yard line. And you're right, Jackie, that gives them better field position than they had from the point of the interception a moment ago. And we didn't really have a chance to talk about it, but that was really the first bad decision we've seen Jaquez Moore make on that last pass. He had a receiver going right. He was looking to throw the ball deep down the field, but as he threw the ball, the receiver stopped, and so the Wildcats had 2 players back. DeHaven Clark makes the interception. He brings it out near the 40, and gosh, that's a tough call to take.
Yeah, that's a bad one there. Again, would have been so advantageous there for the Wildcats, and it's all taken away and put Suwannee in better field position than what they had on the interception.
But, Jackie, the offense has to find some way to get some push on this defensive line against Suwannee to have a chance. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun, first down and 10 from the Wildcat 39. Suwannee ahead by 6 with the football. They're going to throw it across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. That time they fake the handoff inside, looking for the receiver. Number 4, Beach across the middle. That's the kicker as well. Playing receiver out of the slot there. They had him. He hit him in the hands with it just a little too quick. Maybe a little bullet pass there, 5 yarder.
Hit him in the worst spot.
Second down and 10. Clock stops after the incompletion. 2:52 to go in the first half. Yes, still in the first half here from Memorial Stadium. Suwannee now digs in. Second down from the Wildcat 39. Takes the snap. Moore looking to throw. Fires one deep down the right sideline. He's got a receiver over there. It falls out of bounds. Jamil Jones playing with the coverage over there. Nothing doing. It'll be third down.
Yeah, good coverage that time by Jamil Jones. That interception, you hope it rattles a player like Jaquez Moore, though. He's hard to get rattled down there. Again, Jamil Jones, though, in great coverage. Moore tries to throw it, and that may be what he does, starts trying to throw it in that perfect spot, and that time he throws it out of bounds, trying to get it where only his receiver can catch it. brings up a good third down here. And hey, listen, they're not running any time off the clock neither. So we may this thing is 2:44 left in the second quarter. We may have another 25 minutes of football.
2:44 left on the clock here in the second quarter. 22-16, Suwannee lead. Jaquez Moore faces a third down and 10. He's going to pass the ball again across the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Fryer, and the Wildcats had good coverage, and it's incomplete, and that'll stop the clock, and they'll have to punt it away.
Carlos Jefferson, what a play that time. Uses that long, lengthy arm reach of his and able to get in there and knock the ball away on 3rd and 10.
We really need a touchback here.
Oh, that would be, yeah. I don't want to start from the half-yard line again. Listen, put your heels on the 10. If you get a chance to catch it, fair catch the ball.
Braxton Green is the punter, number 16 on the field for Suwannee. They got to hurry. They had confusion, and they're going to maybe get a delay of game here if they don't hurry. Snap back to the punter. He's going to kick it high, and it's going to take, let's see what Jamil Jones decides to do. He lets it hit, and it's going to be down inside the 10. And you're right. Thank you, Suwannee, because that might have rolled down inside the 5.
That ball was going to take another bounce, I think, and roll inside the 5. That was one of those I felt like Jamil Jones, fair catch at it. Bounced at the 10-yard line. That's where you're supposed to be. But the Wildcats are going to get a little bit of a break there. So it's not the half-yard line. It's the 7.5-yard line.
A little bit better starting position, but once again, you've got to do something offensively. And we've had a couple of spots where we hit some plays, but overall, the Suwannee defensive line has taken the day so far. 1st and 10 Wildcats inside the 10-yard line. Crawford in the shotgun, 3 receivers to his right. Crawford going to throw the football. Little screen pass underneath. We got a catch made, and the receiver is going to get out across the 15 to the 17. Jamad Ruiz on the catch. It'll be a first down or close to a first down. Yes, it's a first down. They'll move the chains.
That time it looked like Jamad was 1 block away from springing that one. So picks up big yardage there on first down, so they are going to give us the first down.
Yeah, they get the first down, but they don't stop the clock for long. Yeah, they didn't stop it for long. They stopped it for just a second, put the ball down, and the Wildcats have to go. Run another screen pass. Scooby's got the ball, and he's across the 20, fighting with guys out across the 22, and he'll get out of bounds to stop the clock there. So we run a couple of screen passes in a row to kind of loosen that defensive line up a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. They got their ears pinned back. Doing a good job, that Suwannee defensive front. Waiting on this Wildcat offensive line. They've opened a couple holes tonight, but not consistently like they've done all season.
2nd down and 6. Wildcats, 1:57 to go in the half, trying to put something together here before the halftime break. Crawford going to fire one deep down the right sideline. He's got Jamad Ruiz. The catch is made. He makes it at the 45, looking for a block. He comes back across the field. There goes Jamad Ruiz to the 40. Jamad to the 35, and Jamad's going to be all the way inside the 30-yard line of Suwannee on good running. He went about 150 yards across the field, but he got all the way to the 28-yard line.
Listen, if I had wheels like that, I would show them off too.
And now, Jackie, the Wildcats here can double up. They get the ball to start the second half, and now in good position here with 1:41 to go in the half. Suwannee has to hurry and get a player off the field here. 1st and 10 Cats from the 28. Crawford rolling to his right, finds a man. Scooby Graham makes the catch. He fumbles the ball forward, and Scooby has to fight to get it back, and he does. So Scooby's going to pick up about 4 more yards on the fumble.
My goodness. Scooby Graham, we talked about it. I mean, been sure-handed all year long. And that time, luckily, finally, we get a bounce our way.
2nd down and 2 now from the 21. Going to hand it to Cam Smith, running right side. Cam Smith's going to be bottled up in the backfield and not get out of bounds. The Cats might need to burn a timeout, and they do. 1:07 in the half now. Just needed short yardage there on the 2nd down play. Couldn't get it, so now it's going to be 3rd and about 3 as Cam Smith was brought down in the backfield that time. And, Jackie, this is where you got 1:07 on the clock. The first priority, you've got to get the first down.
That's right, yeah, get the first down. Listen, we're used to running tempo. Get the first down here. Going to stop the clock for a few seconds while they reset the chains. By the time he blows the whistle, we're going to be ready to run another play. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if Coach Kevin Mays is not calling 2 plays, one to pick up the first down, and then once we do, get back to the line of scrimmage, and let's run it again. And you talked about the double-up. Man, that'd be a great opportunity here if the Wildcats can put points on the scoreboard. 1:07 left in the second quarter, trailing 22-16 to the Suwannee Bulldogs. But you go down and you score here, and you get the ball back to start the second half, and then we got a whole another 4 hours of football left.
So they're going to face about a 3rd down and 2. 1:07 on the clock. The Wildcats had to burn a timeout. That might have been our last timeout. We'll have to check that. At least we've used 2. Crawford from the 21, 3rd down play. Going to give it up the middle. Cam Smith's got the first down, and he's got more. He's inside the 10-yard line, and the Cats will have a 1st and goal. They'll stop the clock and set the ball down inside the 10-yard line before the clock runs here. Plenty of time for this Wildcat offense.
And that time, the offensive line doing like they've done all season long. That's the vintage offensive line, Mike. Come on, boys.
From the 9, clock running now. Carson Crawford going to keep it himself, and he's going to go into the end zone. 9-yard tough run for Carson Crawford, and flags down after the play as Crawford hit across the goal line. That's going to go against Suwannee for personal fouls, but it doesn't matter. Crawford goes into the end zone and gets the touchdown. That's going to tie the game momentarily at 22.
And I tell you what, they can hit him after the play, son, because Carson Crawford may have committed a personal foul during the play. My goodness. He just trucked the Suwannee defender at the goal line there. Would not be denied. What a run by Carson Crawford.
And now the Wildcats will be forced to go for 2 again here. Will Kevin Mays take this penalty here and move it half the distance to the goal line? I don't know. Would you do that, or would you take it on the kickoff?
With what you do on kickoff, I'm not sure. That's really, I don't know. It's a tie ball game right now, so you're tied 22-22. Suwannee elected to go for 2. They saw the writing on the wall, and the Wildcats were going to have to go for 2, so keep it close.
Touchdown is good. They call the personal foul. They'll enforce it on the kickoff. So Wildcats will line up to go for 2 here. And like we said, the Wildcats will get the ball first in the second half. So if they can keep this to the locker room, we'll be in good shape. Cam Smith goes up the middle, and he's going to get 2. So the Wildcats 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions tonight, and we'll take the 2-point lead again as we just run straight Cam Smith to the middle of the field, and he gets the 2 yards needed for the 2-point conversion, and the Cats are on top 24-22.
And I'll tell you what, let me give it one time for the big dogs up front right there. Those guys made the whole possible for Carson Crawford on the touchdown, Cam Smith to pick up the first down, and then to complete the 2-point conversion. So just like that, I try to get on them a little bit. That's what they need, Mike. I put my coaching headset on, got into them a little bit. My goodness, are they opening up holes now.
And now with the personal foul on the kickoff, the Wildcats will get to kick it off from up around the 45, or they're going to mark it. Where are they going to put it? They normally kick off from the 40, so it should be the 45 of Suwannee where they'll kick it off at. No, they're going to mark it all the way down. Should be the 45. The officials are really struggling tonight. So the Cats are going to place it at the 45-yard line. And, Jackie, if we've got somebody that knows how to onside kick it, this would be a good spot for it. Got another new kicker in there now. Blake May is unable to play tonight. He's not suited up. So our kicking game, we've had to go for 2 every play or every time we've scored a touchdown. And fortunately for the Cats, we're converting 3 for 3, 100% of those. And now going to kick it off from here, from the 45. We just kick it straight down the field. Oh, they're going to fumble around it, and they're going to have to fall on it back at the 10-yard line, and they'll get bad field position. So now with only 52 seconds left, will they try to do something with it, or will they just run out the clock?
In a game like this, and as quickly as teams have been able to score, both the Wildcats and the Suwannee Bulldogs, you got a quarterback that's not made many mistakes, Mike. One mistake that, was a true mistake on his part, throwing the ball deep. And I felt like he thought he threw that ball far enough it was out of everybody's reach, and DeHaven Clark ran it down, one of the fastest guys on this defense, and was barely able to get fingertips on it to make that interception. So with a quarterback like that, I'm not sure that you don't try to maybe take a shot here and see what happens.
They split 3 receivers to the left side with 52 seconds. Jaquez Moore is going to run it himself. He's out across the 15. He's out across the 20. And one of the Wildcats trying to wrestle the ball from him. That's Scooby Graham, but they get it out to the 23. Now, they cannot stop the clock other than the first down will stop it to place the ball, but they're out of timeouts.
Yeah, out of timeouts, but you don't one tackle. You get him at 9 yards right there, and you burn a lot more time.
Under 40 seconds to go now. Jaquez Moore takes the snap. He's going to give it to Graham, running to the right side. Jamarian Baker's got him bottled up over there, and we'll throw him down for a loss.
That's what you needed right there, and I'm sure they'll be happy to take it into halftime on that note. Great play that time by Jamarian Baker and Orlando Holland.
Yeah, they're not going to have any time here, so they're going to let this clock run out, and that'll do it for the first half. What a half of football here, as the Wildcats are going to take a 2-point lead to the halftime locker room, 24-22. What a crazy first half of football we've had here from Memorial Stadium on senior night in this finale. We knew it was going to be a good one. 2 good football teams, and right now the Cats on top by 2 will get the ball to start the second half. And, Jackie, we're going to take a much-needed timeout here, but when we come back, we will have our Baker County Farm Bureau halftime report. You don't want to miss it. Come back, and we'll break down this first half, and we might even talk a little college football. Come back and join us in just about 5 minutes. We'll take a timeout here. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkins Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkins Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkins Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinsChevy.com.
Hey, Wildcat fans, this is Anita Cruz with Country Financial Credit Union. This challenging year has caused us to miss out on many of our favorite things, but thankfully it hasn't taken away our Friday night lights. It also hasn't changed our credit union's ability to serve your financial needs. Whether you're looking for fee-free checking, mobile banking, or great rates on loans, we're here to help. In fact, we're big enough to meet all your financial needs, yet small enough to deliver personal service to every member. Country Financial Credit Union, hometown banking, hometown people, and proud sponsor of the Baker County Wildcats, insured by NCUA.
For over 50 years, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving the community of McClenny. They provide quality air conditioning, HVAC, and electrical work to the residents of McClenny and the surrounding areas. The phone number for Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning is 259-6546. Oscar and Susie Gray would like to say, go Wildcats. Again, that's Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning, 259-6546.
Halftime on senior night at Memorial Stadium, downtown McClenny, Florida. Wildcats of Baker County doing battle with the Bulldogs from Suwannee. The Live Oak Suwannee Bulldogs in town. 6-2 Suwannee Bulldogs, 7-1 Baker County Wildcats. It's been a good one. 24-22. The Wildcats lead by 2 at the half. We welcome you into our Baker County Farm Bureau halftime. Jack Baker, Justin Webb. 259-6332 is the number down to Baker County Farm Bureau. Give them a call if you have any questions about your automobile, life, homeowners insurance. They'll take care of you. 259-6332. Big supporters of Wildcat football. Some halftime stats, Jackie. The Wildcats with 173 yards of offense in the first half on 29 plays. I tell you what, the Wildcats somehow are averaging 6 yards a play tonight, but tough going against that front line of the Suwannee Bulldogs. Suwannee has 212 yards of offense. They've run 41 plays. Wildcats have thrown the ball 10 times. Carson Crawford, 7 of 10, 81 yards through the air. The leading rusher in the game is Carson Crawford. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's ran the ball for 49 yards. That's the most yardage we have by the leading rusher. Cam Smith added 20. Cam Smith also added a 95-yard touchdown run. So you started to see toward the end of the half that the offensive line was opening some holes there on that late drive. And the offensive line is the key here as we move down in the second half of this ballgame.
Yeah, and I tell you, Mike, that tempo, we talked about it early on in the pregame. You got to be able to stay on the field. And it finally looked like when we drove, we had that last drive, the last scoring drive right before the half, looked like that Wildcat offensive line was getting the job done. Maybe had wore that defensive front down just enough because they were opening holes for these Wildcat running backs. So that's going to be the key. A lot of breaks, a long first half. Felt like at times we didn't have the ball very much. So we got to get the ball, see if we can sustain some drives in that second half. And I'd like to try. If you can wear them down a lot earlier than what you did right there, you saw what the opportunity would be, that you may start being able to run the ball a little bit. But that first half, well, man, what a stalemate at the line of scrimmage.
Almost a 2-hour first half as we approach 9 o'clock on the Eastern time. And it might be a late one here, Jackie, as we do battle late into the night here with Suwannee. But 24-22, the Wildcats did a good job of answering a couple of early Suwannee touchdowns. They took a 14-0 lead early in the first quarter. And then behind that, the Wildcats got a big kickoff return from Cam Smith, a touchdown drive later to take a 16-14 lead. And then Suwannee came back to retake the lead at 22-16. The Wildcats put together a drive at the end of the half on a big pass play from Carson Crawford to Jamad Ruiz that got us set up down deep in Suwannee territory. We took it the rest of the way for the touchdown. So 24-22 is where we stand as we talk to you here in our Baker County Farm Bureau halftime report. Jackie, want to talk about some college football. Tomorrow you've got some games in action. Tonight you've got some games in action. The Miami Hurricanes on right now. Texas A&M on the road at South Carolina tomorrow in the SEC. Tennessee at Arkansas. Clemson, without Trevor Lawrence, facing number 4 Notre Dame, the number 1 team in the country against number 4 Notre Dame. Michigan's going to face Indiana. Texas at West Virginia. I threw out some of these games just so I could kind of tell you this, Jackie. If you look at the top 25 right now in the AP at least. You might see some teams that you don't normally see. So as you're talking college football right now, just look down this list. Inside the top 10, you've got Cincinnati sitting there at number 6, 5-0. You got BYU sitting there at number 9, 6-0. Looking on down the list, number 13, I just said Michigan's going to play Indiana tomorrow. Indiana, the Hoosiers, a team known for basketball but not for football, they're ranked number 13 right now. But, Jackie, even more strange, as we would call it in the top 25, look down from here. When you get down to number 15, Coastal Carolina, sitting there undefeated. And then the Fighting Falwells from Liberty University at number 25. Teams that you don't normally see in the top 25. And this is one of those things I was telling you about, this being one of those crazy college football years. Jackie, we've seen some things happen this year and some teams that are inside the top 25 that you don't normally see. Well, who do you not see? There's 4 SEC teams in the top 10. That's fine. But you have to go all the way to number 25 to find the 5th one. That's Auburn. Who do you not see in the top 25? You don't see LSU. You don't see FSU. You don't see Penn State. You don't see UCLA. You don't see TCU. You don't see teams like UCF that for the past few years have been there. Those teams are out, and you've got teams like Liberty and Coastal Carolina that are in the top 25. What's going on in college football this year, Jack?
I'll tell you what's going on, Mike. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how good any of these teams are. They got these scouts and whatever you want to call them that go out and they look at these teams all in the preseason. Well, a lot of them didn't have much of a preseason. A lot of them didn't do summer workouts, didn't do any conditioning, didn't go out. A lot of them didn't have a spring practice, So I tell you what, I think they're just drawing, after about the top 10, I think they're just drawing out of a hat of anybody that's got a decent record. We'll put you in the top 25.
Well, Jackie, I do want to just mention the SEC standings for a moment. Georgia on top of the East with a 4-1 record. Florida right behind them with a 3-1 record. Over in the West, it's all Alabama. Alabama sitting in the catbird seat. Texas A&M is second behind Alabama, but Alabama's already taken care of A&M on the field this year. So Alabama sitting in the driver's seat of the Western Division, but a game tomorrow in Jacksonville, Florida is going to tell you who's got the driver's seat for the Eastern Division. Both of those teams sitting there with one loss, both the Western Division teams. Georgia lost to Alabama, and Florida lost to Texas A&M. Florida and Georgia, a top 10 matchup in Jacksonville tomorrow. Jackie, let's talk about it for a moment. You go back and you really rethink the history of this rivalry over the past 30 to 40 years. And some of the memories I can recall going back into the early 80s, early on in my childhood, probably the earliest recollection I have is remembering that Herschel Walker was just a stud running back for this Georgia football team. Later in the 80s, they had guys like Tim Worley, but you'll remember names like Buck Bellew and Lindsey Scott. Those were the guys from the 80s, and they won their national championship back in 1980 with that team on a big pass play to Lindsey Scott to beat Florida, 26-21. They went on to win the Sugar Bowl that year against Notre Dame and won their national championship. That was 40 years ago, Jackie. This is the 40th anniversary of Georgia's last national championship. But I also think about those 80s, and you had some Gator players, Kerwin Bell, Ricky Nattil. You'll remember some of those Gator teams. There weren't a lot of Gator victories against the Georgia Bulldogs back at that time because Georgia owned the series. Georgia owned the series from the beginning of the series all the way through the 80s, no doubt about it. Georgia led the series by a big number. And just a couple of those memories from the 80s when Kerwin Bell led teams in 1984 and 1986 took down the Bulldogs. Other than that, it was a tough run. But, Jackie, things changed in 1990. Steve Spurrier came home to coach the Florida Gators in 1990, brought about a new-look offense and a new-look team that the Florida Gators had not seen in years down there, and had a chance in his run against the Georgia Bulldogs to win all but one game that he coached. And in the last 30 years, Jackie, since Steve Spurrier's been there, Florida has won 21 times against the Georgia Bulldogs. That means Georgia's won 9 times. So the last 30 years, 21 wins for Florida, 9 for Georgia. So when Steve Spurrier got there in 90, things changed. The cycle started to break. However, fast forward to current time, Georgia has kind of recaptured things, and Georgia fans are thinking that, hey, Kirby Smart's there. We're getting all these recruiting classes. Georgia's had a chance in a couple of big playoff games to go win a national championship. But they haven't gotten over that hurdle, Jackie. But one hurdle they think they've cleared in the minds of Georgia fans, they think that they've gotten the series against Florida back under control. They've won 3 in a row. Tomorrow, Dan Mullen's going to bring that Florida football team in there with an offense that's averaging 42 points a game. And they're going to face a Georgia defense that's only giving up about 16 points a game. Something's got to give in that matchup tomorrow. Florida's high-flying offense averaging 42. Georgia's defense averaging 16 a game. Jackie, what are the keys to Florida stopping this 3-year run for Georgia and giving Dan Mullen the win over Kirby Smart?
Well, you got close last year. You know, you lost 24-17 last year, and if I recall, Florida didn't have many possessions last year. If I recall correctly, I believe it was under 10 possessions, offensive possessions last year. That's got to change. If your offense is the most prolific part of your football team, you got to keep those guys out on the field. You got to get them out there any chance you get. But I'll tell you, Georgia last year, what they did, they had Jake Fromm, who's an average quarterback at best, run the ball. That offensive line just absolutely destroyed the Gator defensive front. They controlled the clock. They did what they wanted to. This year, I'm not so sure.
And it was a 7-point game. You know, you talk about destroying the Florida team. A 7-point game comes down. What Georgia did last year that was so impressive was on third down when they needed it, they were able to extend drives and keep the ball out of the Florida offense's hands. Things have changed a year later. Georgia's defense, like I said, the strength of that football team, they're going to be playing without some key players tomorrow, but I don't want to hear that story because I can't name a Saturday this year when Florida's had their entire football team full strength, and it'll happen again tomorrow. Last week, a couple of defensive players involved in that mishap at halftime against the Missouri, and so they're going to sit out the first half of tomorrow's game. So Zachary Carter and Antoine Powell, both of those guys missed the first half. However, the Gators do get back 15 guys that missed the Missouri game because of COVID-19. So kind of a good news, bad news story for the Gators. They will be without Carter and Powell for a half of football, but they do get 15 other guys back that had to sit out last week because of the quarantine situation. So overall, from a health situation, Florida probably in their best position tomorrow with a full-strength team. Georgia, on the other hand, lost a starting defensive lineman, Rochester, to a knee injury last week. They've got a couple of other guys up in the air. And then, unfortunately, Richard LeCount was involved in an accident last Saturday night, so he's not expected to be able to play tomorrow as well. So they've got some tough times, and Georgia fans say it's the worst time. And if you listen to the folks on the TV and if you listen to the folks around here, you would think that Florida's going to walk in there and just beat Georgia by 30 points, but that's not the case.
No, and listen, everybody, even Georgia fans, they keep saying, "Oh, well, y'all should beat us." Y'all. Why? Y'all have had top recruiting classes for the last 5 years. You've out-recruited Florida. Florida's averaging a top 15 class to your top 2 class the last 5 years. So, yeah, you may have players out, but shouldn't you have another 5-star right behind them that steps up and ready to play? All we hear about in recruiting is, oh, look at all these guys we signed. Oh, Kirby Smart is the best recruiter ever. We signed every top name in the country. So what are you worried about missing 4 guys for? Shouldn't make that big of a difference, should it?
You wouldn't think, but I'm going to tell you the key to tomorrow's game. The key to tomorrow's game is not Kyle Trask, and it's not Kyle Pitts. The key to tomorrow's game is, number 1, Kadarius Toney. I'm going to tell you something. Kadarius Toney is a guy who has really developed and he's really emerged, Jackie. Kyle Pitts, probably one of the best players in the country. He'll be on the field tomorrow for the Gators with Kyle Trask. But I'm going to tell you something. Kadarius Toney is a difference maker in tomorrow's game, and it's going to come down to him. Do I think Florida's going to win the game? I'm not 100% sure. You never are. This game is going to come down to big plays. It's going to come down to turnovers. It's going to come down, to the team that wants it more. It's not a typical game. You're not going to have 85,000 people in the stands. You're going to have about 20,000. Will those fans be loud? Will the energy be exciting? I don't know. We'll have to see what that looks like tomorrow. But if the game goes without a ton of turnovers either way, I like Florida's offense in this matchup. I like Florida to win this game 31-24.
Listen, there was a little semblance of a defense in that Missouri game. And I know it was just Missouri, but as bad as this defense, Florida defense, has played all season thus far, it was exciting to actually see something on the field that looked like a defense. So I tell you, if they take that same energy into TIAA Bank Field tomorrow against the Georgia Bulldogs, I'm with you, Mike. I like that high-powered Florida offense. I'll take the Gators by 10.
Big game for Dan Mullen, big game for the Florida Gators. The winner of tomorrow's game, no doubt about it, will have the inside track to facing Alabama in the SEC championship game. Not sure it's a game that either one of them want, but they will have the inside track to that game to face the Alabama Crimson Tide. So should be a good one, Jackie. 3:30 tomorrow, Florida and Georgia, as they do every year. I'm excited about it. I know you are too. We got about a minute left before the second half kickoff. We'll take a minute timeout here. The Wildcats lead 24-22 at the halftime break. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Dual State Real Estate is a proud supporter of Wildcat football. We offer home and land sales as well as property management in Florida and Georgia. Come in for a free consultation and we'll show you how to get up to 16% more for your property. Mention this ad and we'll give you free buyer representation. Don't hesitate. Call Dual State, owned and operated by Sabrina Thrift. Call us today at 904-397-0263 or check us out at dualstaterealestate.com. We'll give you service you deserve from people you can trust. And at Dual State Real Estate, we are always Wildcat proud.
Since 1981, Higginbotham's Towing and Recovery has been serving the community of Baker County, providing safe and reliable towing needs. If you need a car or truck towed or even a shed in your backyard, Higginbotham's is a place to call. Located in Glen St. Mary, they are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. 259-4375. That's 259-4375. The Higginbotham family is so excited to be a proud supporter of Wildcat football.
And we welcome you back here to Memorial Stadium, getting set for the second half of tonight's ball game. The Wildcats of Baker County 24 and the Suwannee Bulldogs 22 as we get set to get the kickoff here in the second half. The Wildcats, as we mentioned, will be returning the kickoff for the second half. So we had basically the last possession of the first half, and now we'll have the first possession of the second half. We won the toss before the game and deferred to the second half. So an exciting opportunity here for this Wildcat offense. Jackie, you get the ball to start the second half. You got to do something with it. You got to do something with it here. You're up by 2, and this is a chance. If you can sustain a drive here, you could kind of separate in a game that's been back and forth the whole night.
Yeah, we talked about the double up there. You go down and you score right before the halftime knowing you're going to get the ball back. The double up only works if you go down and you score right here. So you get the ball back to start the second half, and you called it. You got to sustain a drive here. But nonetheless, you want to go down and put points on the board and keep that momentum on this Baker County sideline.
Cam Smith and J-Mod Ruiz back to return the kick, and it's going to be a high one here, and the Wildcats are going to come up and take it. Cam Smith at the 30. Cam Smith to 35. Cam Smith to the 40, and Cam Smith out to the 45-yard line. He came up and got that one. That was a high kick. They were trying to keep it out of his hands, but he got his hands on it and gets a good return.
Yeah, Cam Smith, man. I tried to tell these guys at Suwannee, you may want to keep it out of the hands of Cam Smith and J-Mod Ruiz. So you can't say I didn't warn you. Both guys are electrifying with their hands on the football, and that time Cam Smith is going to give us excellent starting field position to start the second half for the Wildcat offense.
Excellent field position at the 45. Suwannee Bulldogs shaking up on the kickoff here. And, Jackie, we've approached 10 minutes after 9 o'clock in the Eastern time zone here for this football game, and a game that we started at 7 o'clock. So normally we'd be signing off and getting out of here about right now, but we've got a whole half of football to go.
My goodness, I'll tell you what, this may be a midnight call. You said it earlier. Been getting out of here. We got these running clocks in a couple games. Shoot, I think one game we were out of here about 8:45.
Last week, I think. If anybody in the Memorial Stadium concession stand can hear us, Send us up a few waters.
I need a water and some nachos,
if you don't mind.
I need some energy.
If you can hear us in the concession stand one more time, send us some water. We could use it, I tell you.
I'm getting feeble up here.
First down and 10. The Wildcats will take the ball from the 45-yard line. Just underway in the third quarter. Wildcats with a 2-point lead. Carson Crawford in the shotgun, going to take the ball himself, and he's going to be hitting the backfield. Jamarian Baker was the guy that got the fake handoff, and the Suwannee defense was in the backfield before either one of them could get untracked.
My goodness, I tell you, I gave all the props in the world to that offensive line right when we went into halftime, but that time, nothing doing. Is three Suwannee defensive linemen were in the backfield before Carson Crawford can get the handoff off.
3-yard loss, and now Scooby Graham lines up in a Wildcat formation. Scooby Graham going to give the ball to Cam Smith, and he's got a hold. There goes Cam Smith across midfield to the 35-30, and Cam Smith's going to be brought down from behind, and they force a fumble, and Suwannee's going to recover it down at the 5-yard line.
And I'll tell you, you want to know who forced that fumble? Jaquez Moore.
Was that him?
Jaquez Moore, the quarterback playing defense, forces the Cam Smith fumble, and Suwannee's going to recover at the 5-yard line.
Well, and there would have been a holding call to bring the play back to begin with because there was a holding flag back here around midfield. Suwannee will decline that penalty, and they'll take the ball over at the 5-yard line. And Cam Smith was off to the races. Jackie had a big hold. They ran a Scooby Graham Wildcat formation handoff, something we haven't seen. And the Bulldogs are going to get it back. Not even a minute into the second half.
2 fumbles after big plays by this Wildcat offense. But listen, ball security not been a problem all year, but in this ball game now, that's 3 fumbles. Luckily, we were able to recover 1, but Suwannee's recovered the other 2 from this Wildcat offense.
Jaquez Moore from his 5-yard line goes to the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Just underway second half here. Suwannee with the football. Jaquez Moore going to keep it himself, running around the left end, and the Wildcats do a great job of containing him as Connor South and Ronnie Ellis force him out of bounds over there.
Great play that time by Ronnie Ellis. I thought Moore was going to be able to get the sideline, but Ronnie Ellis not having any of it and actually going to force a 2-yard loss there. So a great play that time by Connor South and Ronnie Ellis.
This guy, Jaquez Moore, he is a football player. We've seen it all night. Second down and 12. Wildcat defense can swing this field position around with a stop here, a forced 3 and out, and get it back. Second down, 12. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. Wildcats looking around. Toby Kinghorn swings out here in coverage. He's going to drop straight back to throw. Now he's going to run it straight back, and then he scrambles out. So Jaquez Moore is going to take it out across the 10 to around the 12-yard line. He'll be a couple of yards short of the first down.
Good play that time by Toby Kinghorn coming up, closing in on Moore quickly to make that tackle, but not before he picks up 9 or 10 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 2 here. Wildcats need a stop.
That's just one of those plays. It's a designed run from the get-go. Jaquez Moore faked like he's going to drop back to throw the ball and then just comes out. Picked up good yardage, but Wildcats can get a stop here. 3rd and 2. Moore going to take it, give it off to the running back, and he's hitting the backfield, fighting his way out toward the 15-yard line, and he's going to be close.
My goodness. Yeah, that's going to be real close.
They're going to give him the first down, Jack. They're going to move the chains. It's touching the 15. It'll be 1st and 10.
Man. Break you needed there. You set yourself up for a 3rd down, but had a chance there to get the ball back and put that offense back on the field. Who had just busted a big play by Cam Smith, but unable to hang on to the football at the end of the play.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. They swing a pass out to the left side. They get Jones over there on a catch, and Jones is going to pick up about 12 yards. Just a simple swing pass out there to the receiver, Jones, and Jones is going to get 12 and a first down, and Suwannee comes out from the 5-yard line and gets a couple of first downs in a row.
Yeah, and again, just, trip receivers over there and able to just swing it out quickly. We don't put enough guys over there to cover him, so as soon as he swings it out, And again, just another quick hitter right there, and that one falls incomplete. So the Wildcats do a good job that time. They were going to be all over him. And listen, whoever's listening into the radio down in the concession stand, we called for it and we asked it and we got it. So, man, we appreciate you guys very much. I was getting parched up here after our 3-hour first half of football.
Listen, I'm not sure what that young lady's name was that just walked up here, but I appreciate her, and somebody's listening to the radio down there. Thank you very much. Jackie got his nachos, and we got our waters.
Dang it.
And we got the Wildcats jumping off sides here. We stopped them on the first down play a moment ago, and now we're going to give up 5 to make it a 2nd and 5.
Man, that's frustrating there. Those are just mental errors, you know. Watch the football, and tried to time it up that time. And Jaquez Moore gets a couple Wildcats to jump, so it's going to set them up for a 2nd and 5. So a drive that started on the 5-yard line now made its way out to the Suwannee 30, and they're moving.
2nd down and 5 now from the 31-yard line. Suwannee with the football. 9.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Wildcats nursing a 2-point lead. They throw it across the middle to Fryer, and Fryer's got a catch, and he's got a first down out near the 41-yard line. Again, that pass they've gone to a few times. He fakes the handoff up front and just hits that pass coming right off the line of scrimmage. And Fryer takes it out there for a first down to the 41-yard line. First down and 10 now. Moore swing pass left side. This is Jones. Jones has got the catch, and he's out near the 45, maybe a 3-yard gain.
Good play that time by Ronnie Ellis. And on that quick hitter to Fryer, I'm not sure what you do. I mean, you got your linebacker out there in coverage, Mike. The only thing I know to do differently there is get up on the line of scrimmage, put him out there, and try to bump him off that route.
Yeah.
But if you do that, Fryer, a kid that has shown how fast he can be, I'm not sure we got a linebacker that could hang with him down the field. So if you elect to do that, you better give safety help over the top, because if he misses on that shove, Fryer's off to the races.
He's lined up against Toby Kinghorn here. 2nd down and 7. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. Wildcats showing a little pressure. They're going to throw it across the middle again, and this time the pass a little bit behind Beach. Ronnie Ellis was there for the hit if he would have made the catch, but they were trying that quick hitter to the other side that time. And you're right. I think if you can get some type of bump off of the route at the line of scrimmage, at least you can throw the play off for a moment.
Big third down here. Already converted 1 third down on this drive. It's going to be about a 3rd and 7. Wildcat defense with another opportunity here to get off the field.
This would be a good one. 3rd and 7. Jaquez Moore taking his time, getting the play from the sideline. 8:22 to go in the third quarter. Just underway here in the second half. Wildcats again leading by 2 right at the moment, and now a flag down is going to be a delay of game. That's going to help the Cats.
Yeah, I saw him put his hand up, and Jaquez Moore didn't realize that he was still nonchalantly getting the play. And now, just like in the first half, 3rd and 7 turns into about a 3rd and 12 here, and Coach Canada elects to put some of those faster guys out there in coverage here.
Well, we've seen it in plays past in the first half on this 3rd down play. Watch the little quick hit, looking for a little quick hitter to one of these receivers. Watch Fryer, watch Beach. I don't see Fryer on the field for this play. 3rd and 12, and they've got to hurry again. They're about to get a delay of game. They get it off. 3rd down play. They're going to fire it across the middle, and he's going to make an incompletion as Glover comes up and knocks the ball away. It'll be 4th down, so the Cat defense gets a big stop here.
What a great play that time by Andre Glover. One of those seniors out here tonight on senior night. We've called his name several times, having a heck of a game, trying to defend his turf out there on senior night. And makes a great play on 3rd down.
Nice job. The Wildcats will get the ball back now. 4th and 12. The Wildcats send a couple of guys back and safety protect here on the punt. Beach is going to get the snap, and he's just going to have to kick it low, and it hits a Wildcat lineman. The ball's free, but it'll be Wildcat football. It never crossed the line of scrimmage, so it'll be Wildcat ball back at the 41 or 36-yard line. The Cats will take it there, 1st and 10. The punter dropped the football, and the only thing he thought to do was just get up there and kick it real quick. And when he did, he hit it into a Wildcat lineman, and the ball just stopped right there.
What a break.
Negative punt yardage on the play for the punter, just so you know. Huge break. Not just any break. That's a huge break. Wildcats will take it at the 35. That's just like blocking a punt and getting it right there. Snap problems that time for the punter from Suwannee and that vaunted special teams unit they have.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of talked that up a little bit and said they were terrible on special teams.
First down play, going to run a little reverse here with Cameron Crawford. Crawford's got the ball to the 30, to the 25, and Cameron Crawford fighting hard all the way down to the 16-yard line. Run a little toss reverse here to Cameron Crawford from Carson Crawford, and the Wildcats get a big first down.
What a great play call that time. Nobody looking for it, a little reverse. You called it, Mike, to Cameron Crawford, and he picks up big yardage, and the Wildcats are ready to go.
From the 16-yard line, 1st and 10, 7:55 to go in the third quarter. Carson Crawford keeps it himself. He's down inside the 15, fighting hard to the 13-yard line, a gain of about 4 yards on first down. Just a little read play that time. Jamarian Baker in the backfield with Crawford. Scooby Graham has been in the slot most of the night. 3 receivers to the right side, 2nd down 6. Crawford with the ball, gives it to Baker. Baker fights his way inside the 10, down around the 9-yard line. The Wildcats' third down coming up about 2.5.
I thought Baker had a little crease there that time. Tries to cut back, but again, the Suwannee defense playing good up front inside the tackle.
Third down play, a big one. From the 9-yard line, Carson Crawford going to keep it himself, and he's going to be down near the 5-yard line, and he's going to have the yardage needed for a first down. And the Cats will have a first down and goal inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal here. Good run that time by Carson Crawford. I'd like to see him go back to the right, try to take it to the outside. We've had some success on those outside runs, Mike.
From the 5-yard line, 2 backs in the backfield now. Crawford calls for the ball. It's a low snap. He just has to run it himself, and nothing doing on that play, as that play was botched from the get-go with a low snap. He just tried to make something out of it. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, rolls it back there. Didn't have a chance to do anything but tuck it and run, but a smart play by Carson Crawford.
2nd down and goal. Inside the 5, Crawford going to give the ball here to Graham. Graham's got the corner, and that's actually Jamarian Baker, and Jamarian Baker is going to go in. 4-yard touchdown run for Jamarian Baker. I thought that was Scooby for a moment. Jamarian Baker running hard to the left side, gets into the end zone, and the Cats extend the lead here. Now you got an 8-point lead. This is where the 2-point conversion is crucial. We're 3 for 3 so far on the night. They dig in. Carson Crawford going to hand it off again to Jamarian Baker, and he's going to run it in easily.
That's the play I was talking about. It just seems like when we get to the outside like that, there's nothing doing with Scooby Graham lead blocking for Jamarian Baker, and he waltzes into the end zone untouched. So the Wildcats are going to go up 32-22, Mike.
That was the touchdown you needed to get some separation, and the Wildcats 4 for 4 tonight on 2-point conversions. Extend the lead out to a 10-point lead now, 32-22. So Wildcats came all the way back from being down 14-0 in this football game, 14-0, and now they're on top 32-22. So since that time, when they were down 14-0, the Wildcats have outscored Suwannee 32-8. Wildcats will get set to kick it off here. Scooby Graham going to do the honors of kicking off now. We mentioned Blake May is not able to suit up tonight. We'll see if, with a week off next week for the first round of the playoffs, we'll see if Blake can be back in a couple of weeks, as we'll be in the second round of the playoffs. High kickoff comes down around the 20-yard line, and the Wildcats are going to hit him not far from there, around the 25. Glover again, a big night for Andre Glover, number 1, as he's made a couple of big hits on special teams, and Suwannee will be backed up at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Andre Glover came to play tonight again, one of those seniors on this Wildcat football team. Trying to celebrate those guys and what they've committed to this Wildcat program, and I'll tell you, they're fighting with everything they got down there in this Wildcat defense. Again, the momentum on the sideline for the Baker County Wildcats. Let's see if this defense can get another stop.
35-yard touchdown drive a moment ago by this Wildcat offense. They got great field position after that. mistake on the punt play by Suwannee, so we were able to capitalize, make it a 32-22 ball game. Now Wildcats up by 10. 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the third quarter. Still a lot of time in this football game. Suwannee going to run the football straight up the middle, and the running back's got a hole. He's out across the 40-yard line and fights his way to the 45 across the way. And Suwannee, just like that, going to run one out there, and the Wildcats have a man shaken up back here at the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to get an official timeout.
Yeah, that's Weston Aver down there.
Yeah.
One of the guys that usually plugs those holes on those inside runs.
Looks like maybe, hopefully, he just caught a cramp there. Looked like Weston trying to maybe fight off a cramp in one of his legs there. This has been a tough night for these guys. Let me tell you don't normally see those cramps coming out late in the year like this, but in a night like tonight where the defense has been on the field a lot, and let's just call it like it is. We're getting close to playing this game for 3 hours tonight, and it takes a toll, and I think that's all it is, fortunately for Weston, because we need Weston on the field. First down run gave Suwannee the ball out near the 45-yard line. That's going to give us enough time to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take 30 seconds here, and you're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Baker High Wildcats football is being brought to you by American Recycling Center. Recycling helps the environment. American Recycling offers compensation for cans, radiators, copper, brass, and aluminum. American Recycling Center located at 5325 Woodlawn Road. That's 1/2 mile west of 121 near I-10. Open weekdays from 9 till 5, Saturdays from 9 to 1. Telephone 631-0152. That's 631-0152. American Recycling Center, happy to support Baker High football.
.6:13 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats on top, 32-22. Looks like Aver trying to shake that cramp off here. Weston's going to come off the field here, and Wildcats will settle back in on defense. Suwannee, the Bulldogs have the football, 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. And the Bulldogs now trying to come back after the Cats took that 10-point lead a moment ago. Quarterback Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. 2 receivers split to the top of the field and 1 to the bottom. Toby Kinghorn showing blitz on this side. First down play. Toby Kinghorn's in the backfield, and he's all over Moore. If you saw Toby Kinghorn coming from a mile away, he came up showing blitz on this side. He crashed down in there and got Moore in the backfield before he could get off. And he was trying to fake the handoff to the running back, and before he could get away, Toby Kinghorn brings him down.
Toby Kinghorn, what a play. We've talked about it all night long. Not too many times has this Wildcat defense been able to tackle Jaquez Moore with one guy. And that time, I thought Moore even saw Toby Kinghorn coming off the edge before the play. And Kinghorn able to light him up. And Moore gets up hobbling.
Tough football player, number 3, Toby Kinghorn on this Wildcat defense. Had a great year of football. 2nd down and 15 coming up now for Suwannee, and they've got to hurry. Every play, they're pushing the limits on the delay of game. They better snap it. They just get it off. 2nd down play, they throw it left, and it's going to be behind the receiver over there. So now Suwannee's in a tough spot. 3rd down and 15. As Moore looking like he's shaking up just a little bit down there.
Yeah, he's uncomfortable. I'm telling you, Toby Kinghorn didn't just get the sack. I mean, he hit him. And hit him hard. And Moore shaking up a little bit on that play. And again, the Wildcats are going to make a mass substitution as it brings up about a 3rd and 15.
That's new territory for Moore. He doesn't get hit like that often because he's elusive. Let me tell you, he's hard to hit. 3rd down, 15, 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Jaquez Moore, straight drop. Looking back, he's going to fire one over in the left flat. He's got a receiver, but a tackle is made right away as the Wildcats stay home to Haven Clark that time on the tackle. And that's going to bring up 4th down, and Suwannee's going to have to punt it back to the Cats.
My goodness, what a play by the Haven Clark. They tried to set up the little slip screen out there that's been so successful. And that time DeHaven Clark was not going to be denied as he throws his blocker off to go make that tackle for a minimal gain.
4th down, Suwannee's going to send Beach back out there to punt it away. The Wildcats send a couple of guys back to return. This time he gets a good snap and a beautiful punt. Fair catch called for by the Wildcats, and we'll take it right there. Good job on the fair catch by Jamil Jones. We'll take it around the 21-yard line. Nice punt that time by the Suwannee punter.
That was a great punt, and I tell you, Coach Canada out there getting those guys hyped up, man. What a stop. Not too many defensive stops in this ball game tonight. The Wildcats come up with a big one with 4:31 left to go in the third quarter, up 10 points. Wildcats go down and score here, and I tell you.
Tell me.
I saw something caught the corner of my eye like a squirrel, man.
you just shut it down.
I had something great I was going to tell you, and I saw something happen right here on the sideline.
1st down play, Cats have it. Going to run it left side. Here comes Cam Smith looking for a block. He's at the 25, gets corralled from behind. Cam Smith was in second gear as he was trying to get a block in front before he shifted further down to 3rd and 4th gear, gets brought down from behind, but picks up 8 yards.
First time on 1st down, we picked up big yardage, and this is the offense we're used to seeing.
2nd down play this time. Carson Crawford's going to run it around the left end. He's going to lose his helmet, and you're going to get a flag on that one as they try to just like bury Carson Crawford over here, and they're up in the face of Cam Smith after the play, and this is definitely going to be a flag on Suwannee as they rip Carson Crawford's helmet off. All kind of laundry on the field. Let me tell you, Carson Crawford's a fiery guy, but let me tell you something. He's a warrior, too.
Yeah, the first guy, I think what upset Cam Smith was the first guy ripped Carson's helmet off, and then 2 other Suwannee players make the tackle and kind of drive him into the ground. And Cam Smith just trying to take up for his teammate there, you know.
He was, and because of that play, it's going to be 15 yards for the Cats out near the 45-yard line. Carson Crawford was bottled up on that play, didn't get much, but the face mask gives us a 1st down. 4 minutes exactly on the clock here in the third quarter. Wildcats going to run it with Jamarian Baker going left side. He's going to fight his way ahead to the 42, trying to get a block out front. A couple of yards on the play, makes it 2nd down 8.
One of those plays that's been successful, that outside run to Jamarian Baker, but golly, we've talked about this for several years. I hate running to the short side of the field.
Short side of the field's tough. You know why? Because it's the short side. Not a lot of room. Not a lot of room. 2nd down. Crawford, straight drop, looking to throw. Fires one across the middle. It's a little too high, and you're going to get a late hit here. They pull Ross Crummey's helmet off, and they hit Carson Crawford late. My goodness, what's going on down there?
And that's the same guy involved in that last Carson Crawford scramble there. I don't know what he's trying to prove, but I can assure you his head coach isn't going to be happy because he just tacked on 15 more for this Wildcat offense.
Well, not only that, he got pulled, and he's over there on the bench, and he just threw a forearm shiver at one of his own players over there. My goodness.
Oh. Nah.
You might get 2 penalties here, Jackie. Might be 2 against the defense. Oh, come on. You're going to get an offsetting here, that's a bailout for Suwannee because there's no way that should have been a personal foul on the Wildcats. Kevin Mays asking, what in the world? We got one guy with his helmet ripped off.
And then the White Hat throws his hands up. He shrugs his shoulders. I'm not sure, Coach. My goodness.
You get one guy with his helmet ripped off, and then the quarterback gets hit late. I don't know how in the world you get something on the Cats there. Oh. Now it's 3rd down and 9. From the 46-yard line, Crawford in the gun, going to take the snap, looks to fire one out here. He's got J-Mod Ruiz, catch made at midfield. And J-Mod's going to take it into Suwannee territory down to the 45, and if that's touching the 45-yard line, we've got a 1st down.
Oh, man, it's going to be close. Golly, it's all going to depend on the spot right here. I think he got it.
Well, they're going to set it down right here, just looks like an inch shy of the 45, but They're going to call for a measurement.
Man, that's going to be close, Mike. I'm telling you. Third down, we ran a little slip screen of our own that time, just flares it out here to J-Mod Ruiz. Good pass that time as Carson Crawford tries to lead him a little bit so he can get that head of steam going, and J-Mod makes a move. And, man, this is going to be close, be a huge first down for this Wildcat offense. 3:12 left to go in the third quarter. Wildcats up 32-22, and a big first down opportunity here.
How those nachos tasting, Jackie?
My goodness, these nachos are terrific. We got the best nacho makers in the state of Florida.
First down for the Cats. Shannon Jackson and Scott Knowles, the chain gang for the Wildcats. They bring the chains over here, and they signal the first down, and it was close enough to the 45. How about that, Jack? I thought it was close. It was definitely close. Got the first down by inches. The Wildcats moving the ball here. 3:12 to go, third quarter. Cats on top by 10, and what's turned into a really intense ball game here between these two ball teams. Wildcats will split out two receivers to the right, one to the left, two backs in the backfield. Carson Crawford in the shotgun from the 45-yard line. Going to keep it himself, and he's going to take a hit right up around the 45, and he goes forward to the 43-yard line for a 2-yard gain.
And again, I set up the read option to Scooby Graham on the outside, and I tell you, we've been able to pick up chunk yardage on these outside runs tonight against the Suwannee defense.
Second down and 8. Suwannee defense puts about 7 guys in the box here as Jamarian Baker is going to get the handoff, and he's going to fight his way down inside the 40 to the 39. I would think this is 4-down territory for this Wildcat offense. It's third, and they need about 3.
Yeah, and again, when you don't pick up the yardage you're used to on first down, put you behind the sticks.
Crawford in the gun, going to give it this time to Baker, trying to get to the corner over here. He's got one man to beat, and he's going to get pulled down from behind by the face mask for sure. And they're not going to get a call. Fourth down.
Oh, man. No.
Well, we got some calls earlier on in the drive, not going to get one this time, and the Cats are going to be forced to punt one away. Jamil Jones comes on the field. We're going to play the field position game now with a 10-point lead. Have a chance here to pin Suwannee deep. Jamil Jones gets the snap. He gets a high punt. What a boom punt by Jamil Jones. That thing went from the 45 all the way into the end zone, about 55 yards in the air, and that's going to give him a touchback from the 20.
I don't know if Jamil Jones ever kicked the ball that far before. My goodness, a booming kick. Looked like one of the Townsend brothers out there.
Yeah, they said maybe a quarterback controversy there as Tommy Townsend fired one out there for a first down the other day on a fake punt. Did you see that? So maybe he's going to battle Mahomes for the...
It's a possibility.
Yeah. DeMarcus Robinson, the wide receiver, used to play for the Gators. Townsend, the Gator connection on that first down on the fake punt. They're going to throw it left side here, and that's going to be an incompletion. Trying to hit the wide receiver, Fryer, again. Fryer's made some big catches tonight, but here down the stretch, the Wildcats have done a good job on defense.
Yeah, this Wildcat defense finding their rhythm a little bit in the second half. Done a great job on those flare passes that were wide open early on in the game. And so far, nothing doing in the second half of football.
Force Suwannee into an incompletion there. Second down and 10 coming up. Suwannee again taking their time. The ball hasn't been set yet, so now they get it in there. Second down 10 now. Glover goes to the shotgun. Wildcat, a couple of linebackers creeping up now. Garrett Kane getting in there, and they get a high snap, and the Wildcats are going to be back there. Glover just fires one up down the field looking for a receiver, but he throws it out of bounds over there. And it'll be a third down coming up now as that play was busted from the snap.
Yeah, another high snap. Wildcats honing in on Jacquez Moore. And again, though, I tell you, just the quarterback smarts to get rid of that football in that situation.
Oh, there's no doubt. I would venture to say Jaquez Moore is in the top 2 or 3 football players that we've seen this year. And he's kept the Suwannee Bulldogs, well, he's played a good game. 3rd down and 10 now. They have the ball at the 20-yard line. 2 incompletions in a row, and now the Wildcat defense is going to play some prevent here, and let's see if we can force a punt. Wildcats come to the line. Connor South showing blitz on the other side, and now they're going to a little audible at the line here. You see Moore changing the play, and he's going to get the snap off just in time, and they run the little quick hitter across the middle to Fryer, but he's going to be about a yard short of the first down. The catch was made. They ran that little quick hit play, Jackie, but not quite for the yardage they need. It'll be 4th down.
They're going to stay on the field here. 4th and about 2, it looks like. And my goodness, with a minute to go in the 3rd quarter, down 10. Oh, man, this could be detrimental if the Wildcat defense can get a stop.
And Moore's going to come up. Looks like he's going to run it himself. They're going to try to get the Wildcats to come off sides, and the Suwannee coaches say we need a timeout. Going to think about it. 45 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Looked like that play Moore ran earlier where he just comes up under center, takes the snap, and goes forward, but the coaching staff stopped it before he could do it. And
I'm going to tell you, the Wildcats on that play actually called a big break. They had a slot receiver out there, and the Wildcats, again, Moore ran to the under center like he was going to sneak it, and so all the Wildcats crashed down inside the box there, and nobody covered Fryer out there in the slot. So a break for the Wildcats that Moore didn't recognize that on 4th and 2.
You're right, and he's a guy with a lot of vision, and if he sees that receiver out there, he could easily have they trust him enough with this offense. That last 3rd down play, he ran an audible at the line of scrimmage, and you rarely see an audible from a high school quarterback.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But, again, like you said, I mean, as the offense, as Jaquez Moore goes, the Suwannee offense goes. So
3rd down play, Jaquez Moore in the backfield by himself. 3 receivers split to the left side, 1 to the right. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats up by 10, 32-22 ball game. Crowd's getting behind this defense. Moore going to run straight ahead, and he's going to get the first down.
Golly, man. I tell you, how many times have we stopped not only 4th down conversion, just short yardage situations, period. There's not a lot doing in between the tackles, but Moore has been able to pick those up all night tonight. So, again, the Wildcats had an opportunity there on 4th down, 4th and 2, Mike, from the Suwannee 30-yard line to take over.
Mm-hmm. 1st and 10. Moore going to swing one out here. It's going to be an incompletion as he's trying to hit Fryer again. That's 2 in a row that he's tried to hit Fryer and can't quite get it there on that little flat, out in the flat pass. Easy for me to say.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 from the 30 now. What's the record for the longest we've been here on a Friday night?
Oh, my goodness, I have no idea.
We're going to be close to it. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 30-yard line. They're taking a long time in between plays. Running this play clock down inside 5 seconds every time. 2nd down and 10. Moore calls for the snap, rolls to his right. Looking downfield now, he reverses. Got a man over there, little screen pass behind the play, and Toby Kinghorn played it perfectly. Toby Kinghorn ran him down, was in perfect position, and stops the play for maybe a 2-yard gain.
Toby Kinghorn not fooled on that play at all. What a great play. He and Weston Avera get after him out there and push him out of bounds. And again, with the mass substitution, as this Wildcat defense forces another 3rd and long situation here.
3rd down, call it 9. Nice play call that time by the Suwannee offense, but Toby Kinghorn disrupted it. They ran a little screen pass with a little flair to it as the quarterback rolled to his right, then reversed back for the screen pass. Toby Kinghorn not fooled. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. Moore calls for the ball, looks downfield, fires a pass out there for Fryer, and it's incomplete behind him, and the Wildcats have stopped them again.
Another big third down stop there, and just a little misfire by Moore that time. So later on in the game, more miscues than we saw out of Jacquez Moore in that first half. Almost played a perfect ball game, but Wildcat defense hit him a couple times, getting after him a little bit, and now they're going to force a punt here with 13 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Jamil Jones goes back to return. Low snap again, and the punter's going to have to work to get it off. He does. Jones catches it at the 40-yard line. Jones to the 45. Jones out near midfield. Jones fighting his way over there on the sideline, and he's going to be hit out of bounds over there.
Oh, my goodness.
But we'll take it around the 48-yard line. So the defense whoops them again, Josie.
They got a flag. Man, I hope this isn't roughing the kicker.
If it is, then it's going to be a first down for Suwannee, depending on how they call it.
Not even sure he knows if the flag came out.
Coach Kennedy was out here talking to one of the Wildcats. Not sure if maybe we hit him late. I didn't see it, but
it looked like he was counting the players.
They're talking to the Suwannee coaches about the decision here, so let's see. After the play was over, personal foul against Suwannee and against Wildcats, so it's offsetting. End of the quarter. So that's it. That's the end of the third quarter. Wildcats will have the ball when we come back from their own 48-yard line. Wildcats lead by 10, headed to the fourth quarter. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout on WFBB.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Baker County Farm Bureau wants to wish the Baker County Wildcats much success this football season. Baker County Farm Bureau, specializing in auto insurance, homeowners insurance, along with life insurance. To get started with Farm Bureau, contact Jack Baker or Justin Webb at 259-6332. That's 259-6332.
On a first down play, the first play of the fourth quarter, Scooby Graham behind his blockers is going to carry it for about 5 yards into Suwannee territory. But as luck would have it, right behind that play, the White Hat throws the holding penalty against the Cats. And so just as you go 5 yards forward, now you're going to go 10 yards backward. And the Wildcats will face a 1st and 20 instead of having a 2nd down and 5.
Oh, not where you want to be. We talked about it just then on the break, Mike. The Wildcats could go down here and score a touchdown. You'd start to feel a lot more comfortable that this game was getting out of reach a little bit, but 1st and 20 is definitely not how you start a scoring drive.
No. That's the big difference with these penalties. You go from a 2nd down and 5 to now a 1st down and 20. Cam Smith's going to get the carry, and he's going to get across the 40 out near the 44-yard line. Picks up about half of that penalty yardage, but the holding call really puts you behind the chains. Cats up by 10, 32-22, 11 minutes and 20 seconds left in this ball game. A hard-fought ball game between both of these teams. Carson Crawford, straight drop, looks down the middle to throw. It's going to be picked off. He underthrew Jamad Ruiz, and now a return is on, and he's going to get down there, and he fumbles the football out near midfield, and we'll have to unpile it and see who's got the ball. Suwannee says they have it.
That's an early signal. That's an early signal.
Suwannee says they have it, and the Wildcats were still fighting for it, but looks like Swannee's going to come up with the football. They get the interception down the field. Looked like Crawford just didn't get enough on that ball. He was trying to hit Ruiz down the field, and I think that ball came out of his hand a little funny.
Yeah, usually Crawford very accurate with those passes. And that time, like you said, it just didn't look right. That ball was so far underthrown, I'm not sure what happened there. And now Chase Cruz, one of those big offensive linemen, hobbling off the field, not somebody you want to see hurt in the fourth quarter of a ball game with 11 minutes to go.
No, sir. Going to need Chase Cruz in there for sure. Hopefully, maybe just tweaked it a little bit. He's coming off the field here, starting to put a little more weight on it.
Not used to having to chase those speedy guys down after an interception.
Head official out there talking to both teams. Now Suwannee going to have the ball at midfield. The Wildcats stopped Suwannee on the last possession, and a couple plays later we throw an interception. They got it back, and they're at midfield. First down and 10. Moore back on the field now for the Bulldogs. They're going to run the football to the right side with their running back, Graham, and Graham's going to get out there near the sideline. 3-yard gain, but a flag comes in on the play. That's got to be a holding on them, right?
I would think so. Where that flag was thrown right at the line of scrimmage on an outside run. Not sure what else it could be, but a great play nonetheless by Toby Kinghorn to force him out of bounds after a short gain. And get a block in the back. So, yeah, big 10-yard block in the back there. So now, just like the Wildcats started 1st and 20 on their drive, Suwannee Bulldogs are going to have to start.
Yeah, the holding penalties kill an offense. I mean, on a first down play, when you go back from 1st and 10 to 1st and 20, I mean, that's a killer. Wildcats showed some pressure here. Garrett Kane and Connor South come up in there, and now Jaquez Moore is going to hand the ball off here to their running back, Graham. Going to get another holding call back over here as the Haven Clark got hit, and now another flag comes in late. And what's Jaquez Moore doing?
Besides going to pick up a personal foul if he's not careful. And the Haven Clark, my goodness, the Haven Clark took a crackback block, and he's hurt. One of the guys we had on the radio coaches show a couple weeks ago. Good kid, played hard football all season long for us. Just a hustler, man. He's lit some guys up himself this year, and that time running full speed.
Check on Clark in a moment, but this Suwannee team, this has been a hard-fought ball game, and it's been a really good ball game between these two teams. But the intensity level and the way these guys have played the last quarter or so has been tough to take. There's been several personal foul calls. To be fair, there's been a couple on the Wildcats, but the intensity and chippiness on this field is got to be controlled. The head official talking to Coach Mays here. Coach Mays not happy about it because since he's not happy, I'm guessing they're going to call something offsetting, which I'm sure he doesn't like. But I don't know what they're going to call. That time, what the play call, Jaquez Moore just kind of rode the ball out here into the flat with his running back. One of them was going to get it, so he hands off to Graham at the last moment. Graham had a full head of steam, but there was clearly holding, which we get the call on. That's going to be declined. Now you're going to get a personal foul. Crackback block is what they call, but he calls it against the Wildcats. He pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, he did. He corrected himself, though. So, I'm telling you, my goodness. The Haven Clark, we hope he's okay. Walked out under his own power. Now we got a wardrobe change. Another senior down there looks like Zane Mobley. I'm not sure what happened to his jersey. But he's having to get suited up into a different number.
So after all that, they moved Suwannee back. We declined the holding penalty. We accept the 15-yarder, so they had a first down and 20, so now they've got a second down and 25. And they are saying what are they saying down-wise here? We declined the penalty on holding, so it should be second down. If we'd have accepted the holding penalty, they'd have gotten first down over. But since we declined the holding penalty, it should be second down, right? Yes. They moved it back to first down.
Well, I think what happened, Mike, originally, remember the first play was a penalty as well, so it should have been first and 20. Well, they had flipped it to second and 20 before that play ever happened.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. If you decline the holding penalty, then that play counts. The 15-yarders after the play, right?
No, because I think it happened during the play. I mean, it's a crackback block, but
Moore is going to fake the handoff to Graham, and the Wildcats are going to push him out of bounds over there. Cameron Crawford chases him down on the far sideline. Moore running so fast he almost jumps the fence on the far sideline.
He's got to be wore out. We saw it on the possession earlier after he had run down and forced the fumble. A long run by Cam Smith, chased Cam Smith down about 40 yards and was able to force that fumble and then had to turn right back around and expected to go out there and perform on the offensive side of the ball.
Suwannee facing a second down and about 18 now after the run by Moore. Wildcats, 10:20 to go in the ball game here. The score hasn't changed. It's still a 10-point lead, 32-22. Toby Kinghorn showing pressure on the right side of the line this time. Second down, 18. Moore drops straight back to throw. He's under pressure. Holland forces him out of there, and he has to throw it late, and he has to throw it low. It'll be incomplete. Orlando Holland chasing the quarterback down. Toby Kinghorn providing pressure as well, and Moore had to get rid of it in his third down.
Good pursuit that time by Orlando Holland from that defensive end position. Moore tries to roll out to his right on that very similar play we've seen all night, kind of a run-pass option there, and he gets out there. And good pursuit, and just has to throw it away that time. Throws a low, incomplete pass. And again, this Wildcat defense doing their job as they bring up another third and long situation.
Third down, call it 18. They need to get all the way to the Wildcat 40-yard line. They start at their 42. Jaquez Moore in the shotgun. He's got three receivers to the left. Wildcats showing a little pressure with Scooby Graham. Here come the Wildcats on defense. They flush Moore out of the pocket again, and a flag's down over here, and this is in the area that the Wildcats would have been offsides, Jackie. We'll have to check this flag. He didn't get the yardage needed for the first down. He picked up about 6 yards. It would bring up a fourth down and about 12. Check the flag here.
Again, Toby Kinghorn with a great play from that outside linebacker position, making Moore cut back in, and on that slick field, he kind of loses his footing a little bit and was going to be well short of the first down, was going to bring up about a 4th and 13 there. So a good play by Toby Kinghorn. He's got the job of following Jaquez Moore around all night, trying to contain him. And I tell you, he's done a good job.
Oh, Toby Kinghorn's played a great ball game. A lot of the guys on this defense have, and they're going to wave the flag off.
Why did you throw it?
Oh, it's going to bring up fourth down, 13. Suwannee's going to leave their offense on the field. They need to get all the way to the Wildcat 40 here. Still 10 minutes on the clock. If you can believe it. Every play, it takes the officials so long to get things figured out. Now they're going to send the punt team on. Suwannee still senses they're in it. They don't want to go for it here, fourth down and 10. They sense if they can get another stop, maybe get something going. Plenty of time left in this ball game. But the Wildcats can get the ball back here, and we need one of those game-sealing drives. They're going to punt it from the 35, and they block it. Toby Kinghorn blocks the ball, and the Wildcats are going to pick it up. A block by Toby Kinghorn on the punt play.
Man, have a game, Toby Kinghorn.
Toby Kinghorn got back there, got his hands on it. The Wildcats had a chance to pick it up and return it, but we'll fall on it back around the 27-yard line, and we'll have a first down and 10 from there. And that was 55, Bryce Kazmierzak on the recovery.
Not every day you see a guy wearing a cowboy collar block a punt. But Toby Kinghorn's not your average football player. My goodness. what a game tonight for Toby Kinghorn. And the Wildcats offense is going to take over deep in Bulldog territory after the block kick.
What a big play. We just talked about Toby Kinghorn's impact on this football game. First down and 10 from the 27-yard line. 9:36 to go in the ball game. Cats split Jamod Ruiz over to the right side, Cameron Crawford, Tyler Richardson to the left side, and Scooby Graham's in the backfield along with Jamarian Baker.
Seems like forever since we've had the ball.
It does. Good field position here. Crawford going to keep it himself. He's got to run inside the 20-yard line. Crawford fakes the handoff to Jamarian Baker and takes it down to the 17-yard line.
Let's go. Line it up and do it again.
9-yard gain on first down. That's what the doctor ordered, and the Cats are in short yardage situation.
Got them on the ropes, Mike.
9:18 to go in the game. Cats up by 10. Looking for more. Crawford going to give it to Scooby. Scooby trying to get outside. He's fighting hard, but he's going to lose a yard or two here. Back to the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up third down. If he could have gotten past the linebacker, he would have had the corner, but he couldn't get there.
Yeah, he broke one tackle, and I thought he was going to be able to make it. Good pursuit that time by the Suwannee defense. Brings him now behind the line of scrimmage, and this is going to bring up a 3rd and 4 situation here for the Wildcat offense.
Third down. We had it in a 2nd and 2. Now we've got 3rd and 4. Scooby's got it, though, and he's got the first down. Spin move inside the 15. Scooby fighting hard to the 14-yard line.
That's a great run that time by Scooby Graham. Does shed some tacklers and becomes the Scooby Graham of old. My goodness. It's going to take more than just one Suwannee defender to bring him down, and he picks up a huge first down for this Wildcat offense.
Scooby Graham with a hard run that time through the middle of that defense. This time, Jamarian Baker going to try to get in the corner, and you're going to get 3 flags coming in from behind here. This is going to back the Cats up again. We can't take 2 steps forward and 1 step back here as the Cats had it 1st and 10 around the 13-yard line, 14-yard line. And we're going to get a holding penalty that's going to bring us back. Holding is the call against the Cats. So we're going to go from the 14 to probably somewhere around the 24-yard line here, and it'll be 1st and 20.
Goodness gracious.
Wow, they mark it all the way back to the 26. Hidden yardage there, Jackie. Instead of 10 yards, they mark it from the spot of the foul. It goes back to the 21 or 26-yard line, and it's about a 12-yard penalty from the original spot, so to speak. So 1st and 22. Crawford going to fire one out here. And one of the Suwannee players disrupted it, and it's an incomplete pass. Suwannee player blocked one of the Wildcat linemen back there, and it kind of got in the way of the pass. He was trying to hit Jamarian Baker over here. Suwannee thought it was a backward pass. It was not.
Yeah, I tell you, that's 2 plays in a row that these Suwannee defenders are just blowing Wildcat players off the ball. I mean, they're pushing them 2 and 3 yards into the backfield, and so the play just can't get developed and do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, and there's been a few times tonight they've done that. The first half they lived in our backfield. The line played solid through the middle part of the second quarter to the third quarter. Now we're getting down here to crunch time, and Kyler Hall asking why that wasn't a backward pass, and it was clearly forward. I could see that from here. He's not happy. He thinks he should have a touchdown the other way. Wildcat fans telling him to get off the field.
He's about to cost his team 15 yards is what he's about to do.
And now you're going to get something. They blow the whistle here.
And listen, I understand it. I'm not saying that the call's right, wrong, or indifferent, but there's no replay. The call is what it is. Tough ball game. Calls have gone both ways tonight. not been one-sided by any stretch of the imagination.
Listen, I understand him fighting for his team here, but Carson Crawford was behind where he threw that pass to Jamarian Baker. It was clearly forward in my eyes, and you can argue about that, but like you say, once you call an incomplete pass, the play's over. You got to live and die with the call that the officials make. They call it incomplete. You got to move on. I think he's sensing the fact that they would have had a touchdown the other way, and he's not happy. Do it. Now it's second down. Second down play coming up. Carson Crawford in the shotgun. The Wildcats need to get it down inside the 5-yard line for a first down, and this play is not going that far. Crawford fighting for yardage down to around the 24, so this is a long third down and about 20 for the Cats.
A long third down, not in a situation we're not used to being in, and a situation you don't want to be in a close ball game. A couple opportunities in the second half. I tell you what, both defenses have lived up to the hype in the second half, Mike. Looked like it was going to be a high-scoring affair after that first half of football, but my goodness.
Third down play. Crawford takes a snap, rolls to his left, going to fire one across the middle. It's going to be picked off. Suwannee gets the interception. He's coming back across the 20 to the 25-30, and you're going to get a tackle made by Carson Crawford out around the 40-yard line. And another interception here for the Suwannee defense. The Wildcats just trying to throw one down there inside the 10. That might have set up a short fourth down, but Suwannee's going to have the ball.
And in good field position, you go for it. You're in a third down situation there, and even if you do go for it on fourth down, you're set up around Suwannee's going to have to start at the 25, but with the interception for return, they're going to be out to their 41-yard line, and with 7:16 left to go in the fourth quarter, only down 10 points. This game's far from over.
Far from over. 32-22 ball game. After 10 o'clock here. Still half of the fourth quarter to go. Jaquez Moore, the quarterback, in the shotgun for Suwannee. Takes the snap. Going to hand it off this side to Graham. And he's going to be bottled up. He's going to fight forward for 3 tough yards, maybe 4, out near the 44-yard line. Don't be fooled. That's not Scooby Graham. They've got a Graham also, number 22. Out to the 44, so it's a gain of 3.5. It'll be second down and call it 7. Suwannee, 6:45 on the clock. They're down 2 scores, but they take a long time in between plays. Moore takes the snap, straight drop to throw, fires one deep down the right sideline. It's going to be almost picked off by the Wildcats over there. Looked like Jamil Jones on the coverage.
Yeah, Jamil Jones in great coverage that time, and the wide receiver made a better play than Jamil Jones because Jamil had it in his hands, and the wide receiver pushes him down, knocks the ball away. And that's Jamil going to come up with another turnover for this Wildcat defense. Brings up a third down, another third down here. So, again, we talked about the battle of the defenses, man. Something's got to give, Mike. Somebody's got to break at some point.
Third down, that's Jones on Jones. That's Wesley Jones, their receiver, Jamil Jones. Jamil Jones was in position for the interception, and Wesley Jones came and pulled it away. Graham's going to run it around the right end here as Moore just kind of led him around the corner that time. Again, just riding the whole way. Not sure which guy's going to take it, and once Graham pulls it, he's down the field 15 yards before the Wildcats able to push him out of bounds.
Yeah, and you just see Wildcat defenders chasing behind him, so not able to take the right angle and get in position to turn him back inside.
First and 10 from the Wildcat 42. Suwannee with the football, trailing by 10. About halfway through the fourth quarter. Cats coming, bringing some pressure here. Moore's going to keep it himself around the right end. Toby Kinghorn stays home again, and my goodness, Toby Kinghorn have a ball game.
My goodness, Toby Kinghorn, man, I'm telling you. outside linebacker, your job is to not let Jaquez Moore outside of you. And you think, my goodness, how easy could that be? And Jaquez Moore can go just about anywhere he wants to go at any time, but Toby Kinghorn has put a halt to that.
No yards on the play. Toby Kinghorn, big play. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
To be a sponsor
I'm
of
Gary
Wildcat
Sinise.
Football.
Our veterans put everything on the line to protect our freedom. We may never be able to repay them for their sacrifice, but we can show them just how much we appreciate all they've done. You can help by simply sharing your time, lending a warm smile, a supportive hand, or a sympathetic ear to someone who needs it. Everyone can do something to make veterans know just how much we appreciate their service. Please visit www.volunteer.va.gov. What will you do?
And we welcome you back here to Memorial Stadium, downtown McClenny, Florida. 6 minutes left to go in the ball game, in a game that's over 3 hours old now, 10-11 in the Eastern time zone, and Wildcats still doing battle with the Bulldogs. 32-22 ball game. 2nd down and 10 coming up for Jaquez Moore and this Bulldog team. And you know, Jackie, if you're Kyler Hall and this Suwannee coaching staff, you're thinking this is our shot. You know, we're down 2 scores. We've got to score on this possession, or we're just going to run out of time.
You know, that's what they're thinking. And this Rock Kennedy, you know, he's telling his guys the same thing. We got to keep them out here.
Hand off to Graham, going around the right end. And again, Toby Kinghorn and Garrett Kane and some of those other Wildcats, Glover's over there, Orlando Holland, and now pushing and shoving on the sideline, and we're going to get flags coming out. Wildcats trying to get each other off of their sideline over there, and I hope that's not on us, but I got a feeling.
That'd be killer if it is.
Garrett Kane and those guys, they corralled him, made a good stop along the line of scrimmage.
And it is.
It's against us.
I didn't see what happened. We made a great play over there. We stopped Graham at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it was right there. It was right there where he went out of bounds. Wildcats kind of chasing the play, got caught up in it. Not sure if one of our guys said something to one of their guys. Not sure if we hit somebody late, but we get a personal foul, and they've got it at the 25 now with right at 6 minutes to go in the quarter.
Oh, that was going to bring up a 3rd and 10 too, Mike.
Yeah, it's a great play by the defense to keep them at the line of scrimmage. But now 1st down and 10, Suwannee at the 25-yard line. Jaquez Moore, 2 receivers split to the left, 1 to the right, 1 back in the backfield with him. Moore going to take the snap. He's under pressure. He's got to fire it late, and Garrett Kane's out there on coverage. They're looking for an interference, but no chance because that pass had no chance of being completed as somebody came in there on the blitz.
You want to know who it was? Mr. Toby Kinghorn, number 3. And he was bearing down on Jaquez Moore, and Jaquez Moore had to get rid of that thing well before he wanted to, as Toby Kinghorn was about to light him up one more time.
2nd down and 10. 2nd down 10, 5:54 to go in the football game. It's been a long one. We appreciate all you guys still listening in to stay with us through this one. We're going to go well over 3.5 hours tonight on the air. 2nd down and 10, Jaquez Moore. Going to take it, pass it across the middle, and a catch is made. Jones has got it, and Jones is running inside the 15, and he's going to be inside the 10, and it's going to be a 1st down and goal for Suwannee. Wesley Jones, captain of the game for the Bulldogs, makes a big play here.
And poor Toby Kinghorn's got to run from the opposite side of the field from his outside linebacker spot to make that tackle, because that was 2 poor efforts at tackling I saw on that play from the Wildcats. And Suwannee in business now, 1st and goal from about the 8-yard line with 5:54 left to go in the ball game.
Tough spot here for the Wildcat defense. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Moore's got it. He's going to keep it himself, and the Wildcats, Orlando Holland, had him in the backfield, and they can't quite pull him down. Garrett Kane's going to wrap him up and get a sack in the backfield. I'm going to call it a sack, even though it was a run play. He's going to lose 2 yards.
My goodness, what a great pursuit that time. Orlando Holland in there had a chance at him. Looked like, I couldn't tell who it was, honestly, had a chance at him, and then Garrett Kane finally able to wrestle him down for a 2-yard loss. So going to bring up second goal from the 10 here. It's a good pursuit that time by the Wildcat defense, but still, man, you got to get your hands on him and at least slow him up a little bit.
And now you're going to get a timeout. Suwannee calls a timeout, 5:04 to go in the football game, and second down and goal from the 10-yard line. They've got the ball right on the 10-yard line, second and goal. What I'm thinking here, Wildcat defense, if you can stop them here, keep them out of the end zone, you got the game. You're up 10. But if they score here, Jackie, it's going to get wild.
Well, listen, here's the thing. If we get the ball back right here, if in some way, shape, or how we're able to stop them here, you got to be able to slow it down a little bit and run some time off this clock, you know. But a 10-point ball game with a guy that, I mean, they've shown that they do have a field goal kicker. He actually hasn't made a field goal tonight, but he came out with a couple attempts. And a couple penalties there, but so you may kick the field goal here if we're able to hold them to fourth down, knowing you have to score again.
Well, that's a great point, because as a team with a field goal kicker, and you've got a chance to, you're down 2 scores. You got to have 2 regardless. 10 points. You get 3 here, and you cut it to 1 score. What do they got in the wheelbarrow, Jackie?
I'm assuming it's water.
They've been running that wheelbarrow out there every play, every time out. Was that 2 timeouts? I think they got 1 timeout left now, Jackie. So you're talking about running the clock out. Suwannee can only stop the clock 1 more time in this ball game. So
let's get a stop right here first. Goodness gracious, second goal from the 10-yard line. We got to keep them out of the end zone here.
Second and goal. Jacquez Moore in the shotgun. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. 1 back in the backfield. Moore, straight drop. Going to throw 1. Fires it to the end zone over here. He's got a receiver, and he drops it.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Had a receiver about 3 yards deep in the end zone. He drops the pass. It'll be third and goal.
Had our defensive back in zone coverage there. Got him turned around. Great throw that time by Jacquez Moore, and the ball just dropped. So third and goal now from the 10-yard line.
Big play coming up for the defense, and then we'll have to see what happens in the chess match with the field goal or go for it. I'm with you. I think if you have a chance to kick a field goal, you got to do it. Third down and goal. Jacquez Moore in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Going to throw it across the middle. They got a man and a touchdown. They pulled the Wildcats that time. Came back across the middle. Caught the receiver right at the goal line. Touchdown, Suwannee. They're going to cut the lead to 32-28 momentarily, and let's see if they decide to kick the extra point or go for 2.
I don't know if I've seen as many quick slants run and completed in a game as I have tonight.
No, and when they've hit it, they've run it to perfection. And that was a nice play call. They just dragged the receiver across the field. Moore waited on him, threw it on the money. Touchdown, 32-28. They are going to elect to kick the extra point to make it a 3-point ball game if they can convert. If you miss the extra point, you're down 4. But the extra point is on the way, and he missed it to the right. He missed it to the right, so they were thinking about it, Jackie. They were thinking about going for 2, making it a 2-point ball game, and now you're still down a touchdown. Field goal can't tie it.
Yeah, and obviously that was the right call, you know, to go down 3 there, and that way if you get a shot, like I said, we saw him make, I don't know, that's probably a 40-yarder he made earlier. Now, it didn't count because there were penalties on the play, but he made it a couple times, and so, you know, he's got a leg and has the ability to do it. So you roll him out there, and he pushes that one to the right. So the Wildcats going to get the ball back with 4:53 left in the fourth quarter, up 32-28. Man, run some time off the clock.
Well, like I said, they can only stop the clock 1 more time. down 4 points here. I would not think this was the time to try an onside kick, but you never know what these high school coaches are thinking. I wouldn't think it'd be time to do it now, but the Wildcats will have to protect against that, and you know they don't want to kick the ball deep to Cam Smith, who already has a 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown tonight. So here's the game within the game. They're going to kick it high and kick it deep. Cam Smith going to go back and get it around the 10-yard line. He's going to come back across the field here. Cam Smith to the 10. He's trying to get around the corner. He does. He's going to get the 10, and now he's going to try to reverse his field, and they've got him corralled, and the Wildcats are going to have bad field position to start the game, start this possession.
Oh, golly. Not what you wanted there. A good kick. Starts at the 10-yard line, and that's one of those plays. You just got to go, you know. And Cam Smith, the young guys, made some electric plays this year, you know. When you get the ball in his hands, no telling what he can do. But on that one, when you catch that ball at the 10-yard line, if you sprint upfield, I don't care if you run out of bounds, you probably get to the 20. And in this case, you try to reverse field and going to set the Wildcats up at the 8-yard line, 7-yard line, I'm sorry. And not where you want to be with 4:38 left in the ballgame.
No, because Suwannee's got some momentum here. You know, they just drove down. They scored the touchdown. Their defense is thinking, hey, if we can get them off the field and to punt from back this far, we'd give them good field position again. Cats are going to run it out of there with Graham, though, and a tough run. Takes it from the 7 out near the 15-yard line. That'll set up the 2nd down and 2.
Good run that time by Scooby Graham, and that's where you want to be. You know, first down, we've done it all year long, Mike. 7, 8, 6 yards at the time, and that's where this Wildcat offense can do what they want to do, get interesting. They can throw it here on 2nd down, done that a couple times this year, but chance to grind this out.
2nd down and 2. Crawford's going to give it to Graham. He's got a hole. Graham to the 25, to the 30. And Scooby Graham out across the 30 to the 33-yard line, just picking them up and putting them down. And that's a 1st down for the Cats.
What a big run that time by Scooby Graham. My goodness.
Big run. Big run. Crunch time moment there for Scooby Graham. Makes a big run out to the 33-yard line. Wildcats will let some clock run here once they set the ball, and they have. So now we're running down under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. 3:50 and counting. Cats on top by 4, 32-28. Look at this score, Jackie. Looking at the scores from tonight's ball games, NC State with a 7-point lead over the Hurricanes of Miami going to the 4th quarter.
Oh, Wolfpack, baby.
Wolfpack. Phillip Rivers, Torrey Holt. You remember those guys?
Oh, yeah.
NC State Wolfpack guys. Timeout on the field, 3:29 to go. Let's take a 30-second timeout with them. We'll be back. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation is honored to be a sponsor of Wildcat Football. James Curry is a proud Baker County Wildcat, class of 1987. He and his wife Shannon own Blackburn Curry Funeral and Cremation, located at 380 North Louder Street in McClenny. They can be reached 24 hours a day by calling 259-2806. To learn more, please visit www.blackburncurryfh.com. Proving not all funeral homes are the same, one family at a time. Go Wildcats!
Couple of undefeated teams in late action tonight. Jackie, the BYU Cougars taking on Boise State. Both of those teams undefeated on the year. I mentioned BYU in the top 10 right now. Game you can watch when you get home. Go Cougars at midnight. First down play. Wildcats are going to give the ball to Graham again. He's got a hole, 45-50. Scooby Graham on the run into Live Oak territory down to the 33-yard line. Another big run for Graham, but look back here, and we've got a flag on the field.
Oh, my goodness. And that's 10 yards down the field. They're going to call a holding call after Scooby Graham had already broke it for 30.
Jacquez Moore talking a little smack to Scooby Graham. He pointed back toward the flag. And I tell you what, Scooby Graham and Jaquez Moore have both played just about every play of this ball game. Going on 4 hours now.
Oh. Needless to say, the net gain there is a loss of a yard. As like I said, it happened 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, didn't lose much, but took off a big run. Scooby Graham with a big run there, and where that play ended up would have basically given the Wildcats a great opportunity to kind of run this clock out. You know, you don't have to go up tempo there. If you've got that field position, force them to use their last time out, and then you can just run this thing down. But now the Cats still back in our own territory at the 32. First down 11. Carson Crawford in the shotgun. Crawford letting some time run off the clock here as he waits for the back judge to lift his hand. Now he does. Crawford calls for the snap, going to run the football up the middle. Wildcats give it to Cam Smith, and he tried to bounce it outside, and he's brought down. It'll be second down.
Late in these ball games, we talked about it on that kickoff return. You just got to get what you can get. We're not looking for the home run ball right here. I know everybody's fighting hard down there, but with 2:25 and counting, you got to bury your head, and if it's a 1 yard gain, it's a 1 yard gain. Let the time tick off.
Down to 2:15 and counting in the ball game now. Suwannee on defense, second down and 12. Cats on top by 4 points right now, 32-28. As they just let the clock run. Now Crawford calls for the snap, going to give it to Cam Smith again, and he's hit and fumbles the football. And Suwannee's got it. That's not our game, Jackie. That's not our game to run the play clock down. It just throws everything off balance, and Suwannee's defense got in there, forced the fumble on Cam Smith. How big was that holding call a moment ago after Scooby Graham ran the ball inside the 35-yard line of Suwannee? We bring it all the way back. 2 plays later, another fumble. That's our 4th fumble of the night.
Oh, man. And I tell you, he was hit as he was getting the football. I mean, again, yeah, we got to secure the football, but, man, he's got to have a little bit of protection. We got to be able to get that handoff off. You're starting from the shotgun, and you're getting hit by the time the running back touching the football. Unbelievable.
Wildcats had a 10-point lead a moment ago. The lead is down to 4, and the Suwannee sideline is feeling it. They get the ball at the 23-yard line of the Cats here after the fumble. They have to run a player in late. They're going to have to hurry not to get a delay of game. They get the snap off, and there goes Graham around the right end, and Graham's going to be down inside the 15-yard line. And you're going to get a flag on the Wildcats for throwing him out of bounds near the sideline over there. And this is going to set them up with all kind of great field position, and it's going to be first and goal.
Oh, my goodness. And, again, I tell you, I thought a Wildcat defender had a chance at him, and that was a poor effort at a tackle when you're only up 4 points with 1:48 left to go in a ball game. This one you got to dig deep, give it everything you got right here. And you're right, that call is going to go against the Cats, and it's going to be first and goal from about the 5-yard line, Mike.
They called a personal foul on a guy that's just got his back of his jersey and kind of slings him around. That's not a late hit. But we get 5 yards, and now with 1:48 in the game, Suwannee down by 4 needs a touchdown to go on top, and they are sitting at the 5-yard line. Can our defense muster up an effort here to keep them out? And their coaches are out there talking to these guys, and I'm telling you, Jackie, the amount of time that they take between plays, you've got to be running the clock here and give them a delay of game. Come on. It's almost absurd.
Not sure what they're arguing about after that one.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. Suwannee's got the ball inside our 10. They're going to run it straight through the middle, and he goes into the end zone easily. And now Suwannee has fought all the way back from down 10 with 6 minutes to go in the ball game. And now with 1:45 to go, they've taken the lead, 34-32.
34-32. Suwannee on top. Man, I thought, again, this fourth quarter, the Wildcats have had several opportunities, I felt like. to put this game away.
Well, we clearly have. I mean, we clearly have had the opportunities to put the game away. Like you said just a minute ago, the 10-yard holding penalty when Scooby Graham ran it inside the 35-yard line was a killer. Come back 2 plays later, we fumbled the football. And I don't even know. We're down 2. Timeout. That's Suwannee's last timeout of the ball game, so they can't stop the clock again. And we said this earlier. I mean, this game didn't mean anything from a standings perspective. It doesn't keep either one of these teams out of the playoffs, but the Wildcats had a 10-point lead, and that lead has eroded here late in the ball game. Let's send it back to the station for a 30-second timeout. We'll come back with the end of this ball game and see if the Wildcats can drive the field. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Hi, this is Larry Birkins of Birkins Chevrolet in McClenny. It is truly an honor to help make these Wildcat radio broadcasts possible. Birkins Chevrolet with sales and service 6 days a week. Cars, trucks, SUVs, certified used cars. We help customers establish or reestablish credit. Thank you, Wildcat fans. From Larry Birkins at Birkins Chevrolet, US 90 in the heart of McClenny.
Online at BirkinsChevy.com.
Extra point by the Suwannee Bulldogs is good. Makes it a 35-32 ball game here. The Wildcats trail by 3. They're going to have a minute and 45 seconds on the clock to do something with it. And the Wildcats need something big to happen here as Suwannee, as I mentioned, came from a 10-point deficit, 6 minutes left in the ball game. They were down 10. They got a big touchdown when they needed one, but the Wildcats had a chance offensively to kind of put them away, and we squandered it. We had a big run by Scooby Graham, called back by a penalty. 2 plays later, we fumbled it, gave them great field position, and Suwannee took advantage of the opportunity. And now they lead by 3, 35-32.
Yeah, we talked about it at 32-22. Again, our offense had a couple opportunities to go put more points on the board and felt like if we did, we could put the game out of reach. But didn't feel secure at 32-22, and that's why right there, one big turnover, a couple miscues on offense and special teams, and now at 32-22, lead has been erased as Suwannee leads now 35-32 with a minute 45 left.
3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Wildcats send Jamad Ruiz and Cam Smith back to return the kick. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to kick one high over here, and Jamad Ruiz is going to take it at the 12-yard line. Jamad comes straight back upfield, and he's hit right across the 20. And the Cats will take it around the 25-yard line. First down and 10 from there. We've got exactly 100 seconds to go in this ball game.
I thought Jamad Ruiz had a little crease there for a second, too. He barely taken down on a shoestring tackle. And we know the speed of Jamad Ruiz. If he could have got through that, it would have been off to the races. But Wildcat offense going to have to drive 75 yards, Mike. Blake Mays, our kicker, out of the ball game, down 3. Not sure if we got anybody that can make a field goal, so we're going to have to drive down and try to score a touchdown here with a minute 40 left.
Oh, it's touchdown or nothing for the Cats here. First down and 10 from the 25. Crawford going to throw it. Now he's going to run it. Crawford looking down. Oh, he's across the line of scrimmage. Crawford tried to throw it downfield. He was across the line of scrimmage. They're going to get him for that, but they missed it on Suwannee earlier. Isn't that crazy how that works?
Yeah, we have shot ourselves in the foot tonight. Maybe some miscues, and the calls on the field, from referees, but all in all, this Wildcat team has single-handedly shot themselves in the foot and squandered away a 10-point lead.
They have, and that's 9 seconds off the clock, and we get no positive yardage, and we're going to lose yardage on the fact that we threw the pass illegal. That's called an illegal forward pass when you're past the line of scrimmage, and so they'll back it up. They only marked it from where he threw the pass, which is odd.
You got a loss of down, too? Yeah, it looks like a loss of down as well.
Well, it was an incomplete pass anyway, so it would be second down either way. So second down and about 14 now. Wildcats have got to come up with something big. Crawford takes a snap. Looking down here, he's got J-Mod Ruiz open over here. J-Mod, it's going to be intercepted. He had J-Mod Ruiz open, coming clean at the midfield stripe, and number 3, Kewan Ladler for Suwannee, comes over and makes a diving interception in front of the play, and they're going to take it at midfield, and that's going to do it, Jackie.
That's going to do it. That's going to do it, Mike. You called it. And again, obviously that interception is a big one, but that did not cost us a game at all this second half of football. This offense just not able to get it done. Defense, I felt like, played good up until the last couple series. We talked about it being a defensive battle.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, the way that Suwannee battled and they came back to life, it really happened, Jackie, after the play where the Suwannee coaching staff was upset about the pass that was called an incompletion that they thought was a touchdown. They came back to life with a lot of fire after that play, and they had some things go their way. The Wildcats haven't had things go our way here toward the end, and made some critical mistakes that you can't make. Jaquez Moore is going to run it himself and just kind of scooch down to the 45-yard line, and the clock's going to run. Cats can stop it maybe once, maybe twice. But, man, it's a game of what if, Jackie. You have a 10-point lead with 6 minutes to go, and the Cats are going to end up losing this football game.
Oh, man, that's a heartbreaker. I'm going to tell you, I thought we were going to get out of here with a victory the way it was looking. Late here in the fourth quarter. The game's 32-22. I felt like with 7 minutes left to go, and you're thinking, okay, it's getting this defensive battle here and have the opportunity to go down and score a couple times, and you didn't do it. And now, before you know it, it only takes a few miscues, and that's exactly what happened to this Wildcat team. A couple miscues here, and, man, Suwannee made them pay for it.
Yeah, self-inflicted injuries, and Suwannee took advantage of it. They've got the lead 35-32, and unless some kind of miracle late in this ball game, we're going to be 7-2 after this one. Now, I want to remind Wildcat fans we were set to have a playoff game here next week against Panama City Arnold. That game will not happen. Panama City is not making the trip over here, so we will get basically a win or a bye in the first round of the playoffs, and 2 weeks from tonight we'll face the winner of the Westside Range game next week in Jacksonville. Moore is going to run it out here and just slide down at the 47-yard line, and Wildcats will call another timeout. I don't know if we have another one or if that's it.
Yeah, I felt like that was it. I felt like we only had 2 going into the drive, but so yeah, the 20th, November the 20th will be the next ball game, and it will be away at the winner of Raines and Westside.
Yeah, you just have to pay attention next week. Westside and Raines will play next week in the first round. The Wildcats will get the bye. We'll get to move to the second round of the playoff by virtue of Panama City Arnold not being able to make the game next week. So that game basically goes in the win column for the Cats. We'll be 1-0 in the playoffs, heading to the second round, and you'll just have to pay attention. Westside and Raines, whoever wins that game, will host us, and we'll have to travel 2 weeks from tonight. Now, Jackie, this game here tonight, you got to look down at the FHSAA bracket. There's a chance that if Suwannee rolls off a couple of wins, there's a chance in the third round that we could come right back and play Suwannee And on that game, we'd probably have to go on the road is what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure. We have to look at the bracket and see. But
yeah, we go to Suwannee. So the first two games, so we'll start in the second round. That's going to be away at Westside or Rains. The third round is going to be away, which would be the opportunity if Suwannee makes it through and we make it through, that we would go to Live Oak to play the Suwannee Bulldogs again in a third-round game.
So this game could be a sign of another battle that comes in the playoffs, and you're going to get a flinch here on the false start by Live Oak. It's going to back them up 5 yards. And so that last timeout was the last timeout by the Cats. I had to confirm that with the official here, and we got the confirmation. So after this third down play, the Cats can't stop it. So best case scenario here, Jackie, would be a minute and 14 on the clock. Best case scenario would be if we stop them here on third down. The clock's going to run down to somewhere around 25 seconds is what we'd have left.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
I'm telling you there's a chance, but not anymore. Jaquez Moore takes it off right in, and he's going to go down around the 30-yard line with a first down, and that's going to do it. Now there's not a chance.
Now there's not a chance. And none other than Jaquez Moore to take that ball and pick up a first down. A kid, I'm telling you, one of the best football players I've seen by far this season that this Wildcat team's played.
But the Wildcats are going to go down on senior night. That last first down is going to seal the fate of the Cats. They can kneel it down a couple of times here, and they'll get out of here with a win. 35-32. Suwannee is going to get the win against the Wildcats here on senior night. Let's send it back to John Meadows at the station for a 1-minute break, and we'll come back and wrap this thing up. You're listening to Wildcat Football on WFBB.
Hey, Wildcat fans. This is Anita Cruz with Country Financial Credit Union. This challenging year has caused us to miss out on many of our favorite things, but thankfully it hasn't taken away our Friday night lights. It also hasn't changed our credit union's ability to serve your financial needs. Whether you're looking for fee-free checking, mobile banking, or great rates on loans, we're here to help. In fact, we're big enough to meet all your financial needs, yet small enough to deliver personal service to every member. Country Financial Credit Union, hometown banking, hometown people, and proud sponsor of the Baker County Wildcats, insured by NCUA.
For over 50 years, Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving the community of McClenny. They provide quality air conditioning, HVAC, and electrical work to the residents of McClenny and the surrounding areas. The phone number for Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning is 259-6546. Oscar and Susie Gray would like to say, go Wildcats. Again, that's Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning, 259-6546.
An unbelievable turn of events changes the course of this ball game down the stretch, and the Wildcats forfeit a 32-22 lead in the fourth quarter, and Suwannee comes back to take the victory. 35-32, the Bulldogs on top. Final stats, the Bulldogs close to 400 yards, the Wildcats about 320. Big disparity in number of plays tonight. You know, Suwannee ran almost 83. They ran 83 plays from scrimmage. The Wildcats only 61. Wildcats tough going against that Suwannee defensive front, but got 32 points on the board, and that's the most. I mean, we talked about this defense, you know, throwing 3 shutouts in a row. The Wildcats scored 32 points against them here tonight after they gave up 3 shutouts. Tough. I mean, you feel like it with that many points in the game, the Wildcats going to win the game. But, Jackie, anytime you have a game and you have the turnovers that the Wildcats had tonight and the penalties, you can look back at this game and you can look at 2 things, turnovers and penalties. And those 2 things cost the Wildcats a chance to win this football game tonight. But the good news is it's just a loss. It puts you at 7-2 on the year. You get to come back 2 weeks from tonight in the playoffs. The Wildcats will be in the playoffs. We'll be facing the winner of the Westside Range game on the road in 2 weeks from tonight. You got a week to think about it, and we'll see where it goes from there. But this is a tough one. It's a tough one, and we talked about the Wildcats in these last 3 games of the year building some positive momentum going into the playoffs. they did that. They beat West Nassau. They beat Bishop Kenny. They did the things they needed to do to get that momentum going. And now here, a tough one they're going to have to rebound from as they get into practice this week. But they've got 2 weeks before we face that Westside Reigns winner, so we'll see where it goes from here. But Suwannee gets the win on senior night. They beat us 35-32.
Yeah, I mean, I can't recap it any better than that. You knew what we had to do to come into the ball game, and all of a sudden, on the 9th game of the season, the turnover bug decides to strike. I mean, something we've not had a problem with all year long, and tonight just couldn't hang on to the football. And anytime you give that high-powered offense of Suwannee more opportunities than what they deserve, they're going to make you pay, and they did exactly that. So a chance, you just got to regroup now. You got 2 weeks before you play another football game. You got to get past Reigns and Westside and then see where it goes from there.
You got to do that, and we will have a chance to do so. Don't forget to join us. Our Dependable Heating and Air Conditioning Wildcat Radio Coaches Show comes up Monday night, 7 o'clock. You can hear the recap from tonight's game, and we'll talk about our opportunity in the playoffs and how we'll prepare for that. But we'll be on the air 7 o'clock Monday night. I want to thank the hardest worker in all of radio, John Meadows, for staying with us here tonight, 10:45 Eastern Time. John, I know it's been a long one, so we're going to get out of here and let you get home. So Wildcats lose at 35-32. We'll talk to you Monday night on the Coaches Show. Good night, everybody.